Hello everyone. Welcome to the Splatoon Advanced Circuit. We are in week 4 of season 7. It is I, Mad Gamer II. I am joined by the J-Man. How are you doing today, my friend?
I am doing well, and we have a pretty amazing start to SAC Tournament 4 here. These two teams, Secret Elixir and Flying Dutchmen, are two of the teams competing for our final 4 wildcard spots. For those who don't know, SAC Season 7 is doing a 12-team playoff, but those last 4 spots are up for wildcard bids. These two teams are both vying for a wildcard spot, so their performance today is really going to matter when it comes down to it, Matt.
Oh, absolutely. I know a lot of people are familiar with these two teams. They have made quite the name for themselves to be fighting in this last week. As it is like all the marbles are in this one.
Yeah, indeed. And we do have, of course, the returning members of SAC Flying Dutchmen. You've got players like Moo, Lee, Wug, and, of course, an incredible Charger player, Tobayeru, in the back if they are playing today. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see some destruction from a Charger on one of these maps as we get a look at our map list here, Matt. We're going to be starting today on Splatoon's Umami Ruins and then following it up with, of course, everybody's favorite map mode combination from Splatoon 2, Tower Control Shipyard.
Yes, indeed. Like this map set really favors the backline. You got a lot of open spaces in the middle, especially for zones and tower control, which tend to be a more backline favored mode to begin with. Rainmaker would be a bit of a wild card. We'll see if they decide to bring that out for, even though it is Scorch Gorge, like Scorch Gorge is fantastic for Chargers, but yeah, this would be fantastic to see them bring that out if they do decide to play the Charger.
Yeah, the one thing, of course, on Umami they are going to have, the Charger is going to have to be aware of is that, of course, the sign does block a couple access points, so players can kind of sneak up on that round pedestal, on that snipe area, on that flank. But for players like this, I really don't think it's going to be that much. For a player like Tobayeru, it's really not going to be that much of an issue. As we get right into it here, we're going to see the comps from Secret Elixir. Secret Elixir going to be in the yellow-green here, and the Flying Dutchman in the purple for this first game. And we are seeing Tobayeru, and I talked to Genie about this before the tournament started. I said I wouldn't be surprised if we see Tobayeru on ballpoint, and there they are on the ballpoint.
Yes, indeed. Both teams rocking the ballpoint and also rocking the new Splattershot Vanilla. We know that has gotten a bit of a buff with the new Zuka damage in the latest patch this past Wednesday, so really curious to see how that plays out today.
Yeah, not to mention, of course, the accuracy of the splatter shots also getting a little bit of a, they take less fall-off damage, and now Wog moving immediately up with this roller, going to try and kind of paint the zone, take control of area as much as they can in the morning. Kind of sharking a little bit. Unfortunately, not going to be able to find anything there, Mad. Falling, of course, to the inkjet of Secret Elixir.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. They do take 3 members down in that push there, but they did have the initial push, so getting a nice lead off the bat, but now Secret Elixir is going to be setting up, starting to push back in, and 69 is not really a strong lead that you want to have, but nonetheless for the first minute and a half is certainly a good opening. Now we'll have to see, they're going to have their specials online ready to push back in. They might be able to get this before they get that lead, but unfortunately not able to do so.
Yeah, the Tri-Strikes coming in from Moo. They're just trying to take some space, just not able to neutralize the zone. And Secret Elixir coming in force right now, taking out 2 members of the Flying Dutchman. The rest of the members of Flying Dutchman are going to be forced to back up here, and they are going to have to rebuild pressures to push in. All the while, of course, Mad, Secret Elixir is ticking down on that timer. And another beautiful Inkzuka shot from Jarence here, just able to take out more than one player. Finds a trade as well on Wug as well. This is really dangerous for Flying Dutchman right now. They are pushed all the way back into their spawn. With 3 down, I don't think they're really going to have a chance to push into the zone here. I think this first game is going to go to Secret Elixir, but they have one opportunity here and not a lot of time to do it. But I don't think another 3 down, they're not going to be able to do it for game 1.
One shot, one opportunity. They had to use their strikes a bit early just to break out of their own spawn. And we saw the hammer going in, and then we saw the splatter shot just following behind. There was so much yellow paint all the way up to their spawn. It's like they did not have a chance to break out of that lockout. And we already saw like the inkjet was online just to clean up whatever they was able to break through, but it just wasn't quite enough.
Right, and Secret Elixir immediately going to be taking game 1. And the weird thing about Umami Ruins as well is the zone is I would say it's more of a larger zone, and it can be difficult to, of course, get the neutralization on the zone. I mean, we saw it there with the ink strikes coming out from Moo on the Flying Dutchman, able to neutralize the zone, but not able to paint enough of the zone to keep it neutralized for long, mainly because of that large elevated platform in the middle. It does make it very difficult to push back into the zone. You really have to commit to one particular side if you want to honestly do anything.
Exactly. I mean, like, that is the key point of like having the strikes there, is like they're used to either just push people out or maybe get a couple of picks, but if you're trying to go straight for zone control, if the other team is all up, especially when you have so many shooters on your side, you just paint over it, be able to cap that almost immediately, and the follow-up, the Inkjet, just wasn't able to get the picks that they need, and they end up losing 2 of the members in the process themselves.
Yeah, well, of course, this will move us over to tower control on Surgeon Shipyard, and I do wonder if Flying Dutchman is going to take a little more time with their comp coming up here, Mad. We normally see Tobagero on the Charger. I was curious if they were going to play ballpoint, but it just didn't seem like they were in a position in that first game to really take advantage of the ballpoint. So maybe they will go to Charger here. Maybe they will not go to Charger here. Obviously, ballpoint is very strong in Splatoon 3 right now, which is why you see a lot of teams running it, especially if you are a backline player. Even if you are a Charger, sometimes you do have to flex over to that ballpoint. It really depends on your confidence and what map mode you're playing in this situation. As we move into game 2, it'll be interesting to see what Tobagero picks.
Indeed, I feel like the biggest difference between the ballpoint and the Charger, like the Charger, it's got range and splat power, so it basically has a lot of pressure and a lot of presence just being on the map. But the ballpoint's got that plus a little bit of breakout power with the Inkjet special. I feel like Surgeon Shipyard, you really need a lot of breakout power, especially when you have tower control, when they're pushing so far into that core area. I feel if they're able to get their shots with the Charger, you can definitely make up for that, but ballpoint, just that versatility really comes in clutch a lot of times.
Yeah, it does, and once again, we are going to be seeing here Secret Elixir in the green. Pink is going to be, of course, the members of Flying Dutchman, and we do see the E-Leader coming out from Tobagero here, as well as on Secret Elixir. They are also bringing in E-Leader, and it is the same E-Leader on both sides. Kurta, oddly enough, is running Object Shredder on their E-Leader, while Tobagero kind of a bit more conventional with the Respawn Punisher.
I could see the thought behind that. With Wug on the roller there, they're going to have the bubbler, so just popping the bubbler on a checkpoint is almost an easy checkpoint knockout, so having there's a little bit of Respawn Punisher can just knock it out much more quickly. But the Flying Dutchman getting a nice 2 down off of Secret Elixir. They're going to be getting this first checkpoint with or without the bubbler. There's not a whole lot they can do except throw out some strikes and try to push them out of the way.
Yeah, strikes are really the only thing that'll counter Bubbler. I mean, all you have to do is throw it at the shield at that point, and it will, of course, end up breaking it. But we have to talk about the reason Wug is playing roller here. First off, Wug is a fantastic roller player, but the roller gets so much more versatility on a map like Sturgeon Shipyard because of the corners, because of areas where the roller can just shark over ledges or throw their ink up ledges. They have absolute control of the area they're in right now. And Flying Dutchman is proving that, as Tobagero's in a very interesting position against Kurta. They're trying to have a snipe battle, all while Flying Dutchman is already through both the checkpoints here, man.
Indeed, that was quite the face-off, and it may have been just what they needed with Kurta distract over to that side. They were able to get the knockout here with all their members just securing that final checkpoint, and it's now 1-1.
Yeah, very quick games here to start the final tournament before the finals. Again, for those just joining us, both of these teams, Secret Elixir and Flying Dutchman, are vying for wildcard spots in SAC. We do have a top 12 format going into our final tournament this season. So all the more wins you get, all the more stats you put up on the board. Really important for both of these teams. And this set will matter a lot because one of these teams will be putting a loss on the board, which could potentially hurt their chances of getting a wild card spot, depending on their, how they play the rest of the day.
Indeed, and the tiebreaker here is going to be on Rainmaker's Scorch Gorge, which is, oh man, Rainmaker's Scorch is just such a wild card, like I said before, and you can't, with the E-Leader can certainly put a lot of pressure with the amount of openness of the map, but because of how far you have to push in with the Rainmaker, it's tough. It can be tough to just find your usual spots that you would for tower control or something.
Yeah, and this is of course this is a bit of a larger map as well, Mad. So the advent of the chargers of both of these teams is going to be very crucial here. A lot of spaces on this map that you really cannot hide from the charger, especially if that charger is sitting under that cage area on the snipe. The most common Rainmaker path, obviously, everyone wants to move it to that right side, but you can never forget about maybe one of the more aggressive players wanting to go up the great side more toward the middle there and see if they can get a flank, but obviously they do have to worry about dealing with the back line in that regard, and I wouldn't be surprised if maybe we do see one ball point here going into this match. It is Rainmaker, it is a moving objective, so while Charger is good, ball point, of course, has that inkjet versatility that we've been talking about, able to deal with positions Chargers might not be able to deal with otherwise normally, and it allows you to move with your team a bit more efficiently.
I was just going to say, like, having a Splatling on your comp, that grading to the left side is just a cakewalk for any Splatling, so you can definitely open up some more avenues, especially if you're just trying to get them out of the way to get to that checkpoint. Having the versatility, as you said, with the ball point can certainly come in handy, but again, it really comes down to what these teams are more comfortable with. We saw the ball point on the zones map, and I could see that for Umami and just zones in general, you get a little bit more paint with the Splatling, but I'm not sure. It'll be interesting to see what they decide to choose with this.
Yeah, and I mean, this is game 3. I mean, we have a 1-1 set already going into the SAC tournament 4, so it's a very exciting set to start our day, as we do see a ball point come out actually on both teams here. So both of the back lines, Tobeyero and Kurta, once again swapping back to the ball point here. But we saw in that first game, in that Splatoon Umami game, that Kurta seemed way more comfortable on the ball point, was able to get more solid and safe positions compared to Tobeyero here, as Moo is in an engagement in the corner there and ends up trading 1-to-1. Secret looks to Flying Dutchman, just buying for some space right now, as Tobeyero falls, I think, immediately to the Inkzuka there from Cactus.
Ooh, that was an excellent shot, not for sure. Like, picking up the anchor almost right away. Like, secondary to the support player, it just opens up so many avenues. You're able to push up so much farther, especially if your own backline is online and you're able to put out some pressure. Secret Elixir are getting so much paint earlier on. Like, if they're able to get another line of special here with that inkjet in particular, they can open it up all the way to the pedestal.
Yeah, they are, and finally, Secret Elixir, the Rainmaker, is going to be grabbed here. Secret Elixir does have a little bit of a path, but unfortunately, that Inkjet recall will slow the push a little bit. And an Inkjet from the Flying Dutchman, I believe that's Tobeyero, absolutely finds 2 in that engagement and should be able to allow the members of Flying Dutchman at least to get a little more space. But Tobeyero not aware that there was a flank coming, and now that member of Secret Elixir, I believe that's Cactus back there, is going to be forced to back up here. No, it is not Cactus, actually.
You know, we talked about the accuracy buff to the splash shot. The Enzap got that same buff here, and with the recent meta of the Tacticooler, seeing it in play for Rainmaker is no surprise. Having that Tacticooler be able to come back in almost immediately, especially when you're running the defense, it just can make the difference on such a fast-moving mode like this.
I gotta admit, that was an expert usage of Wug's shield there. She did a fantastic job of just using it to keep the Inkzuka, essentially, of Secret Elixir down for the count while just having advantage to being able to just flick rollers constantly. And we do see here, Matt, that this map mode, especially with the way these two teams have their comps, they're very back and forth, and it seems like Secret Elixir was aware that someone was in the corner, as Wug is she is going to fall there, unfortunately, in that regard. And now Secret Elixir looking to make another push here, but the Crab Tank and the Ball Point making that very difficult for the Rainmaker to move up, and Kurta nearly falls to a bomb there. The Rainmaker now stuck in the pit. The members of Secret Elixir have to find a pick here. A trade is going to come out. Another one is going to go down on the side of Flying Dutchman. This could be an opportunity for Secret Elixir to at least break this checkpoint, but they're not really quite aware Wug is there. I mean, Wug does like to shark around a little bit, and seeming like spamming the Rainmaker is going to be what they have to do, as Secret Elixir will finally break that checkpoint, man.
You know, it's tough, J-Man. Like, you have teams of this caliber, unless you get like a complete wipeout, or if they're just having to look in the other way, it's hard to get major points. And Rainmaker just like one member up, the Wug just sharking in the right corner can take down the Rainmaker carrier in an instant if they're not careful. But Secret Elixir just putting on the pressure ever so slowly and able to get just off the checkpoint there. 49 with these two teams, how back and forth they've been, might be able to be the winning push, but we'll have to see what Flying Dutchman has to say about that.
Yeah, Flying Dutchman really needs to get some coordination together. I mean, it seems like they're ending up in a lot of trade scenarios, which is something that you don't want, as now 2 members of Flying Dutchman goes down. Narco nearly goes down on a flank here and has the Crab at the ready. Might use it here to try and maybe extend the push of Flying Dutchman. They do have to break that checkpoint, but unfortunately the Rainmaker is going to fall to a bomb. Now, they're just going to prioritize popping this Rainmaker here because they want the push, but Narco has no opportunity to pop this Crab Tank yet. And here comes now finally the Crab Tank going onto the snipe, and the barrier is there, but Wug unfortunately is going to go down. But look at this, Flying Dutchman kind of just stuck in middle here. There's just too much pressure coming out from the members of Secret Elixir Net, and they're not able to get any picks and push up.
That is correct. Like, we saw the crowd getting popped there, an excellent just use, but then like wasn't able to find much value out of it with the return specials of Secret Elixir. Like, that map just turned yellow in an instant with the strikes and then the inkjet and whatnot. It's like the Flying Dutchmen are on the back foot once again, and with a minute left, like, they really gotta make a major push in order to get their points back. But Secret Elixir is just not letting them move back in the mid.
No, they are not, and it seems the Rainmaker sitting in this spot where the Crab Tank can really only do 30 damage to it, so the bomb spam is going to have to come out here. We now have 30 seconds left on the clock, and Flying Dutchman not only needs to break the checkpoint, but take the lead. And I like Wug taking the initiative here, maybe just trying to shark out, maybe get a position, trying to catch someone on the ledge. Does get a hit, unfortunately does not connect with the kill there. I think Wug might have been looking for the kill, and now Wug obviously going to be watching out for the flank route here, using those curling bombs to move around the map. Manages to find one pick, which is absolutely huge, but the Rainmaker still has to get to the pedestal. The shield is there, so this should allow the members of Flying Dutchman to break the checkpoint. No, they're going to lose it in the shield. They have to pop and break it here. They don't have a lot of time. They have to pop the checkpoint, and they're not going to be able to. And Secret Elixir will take this first set in our groups stage against Flying Dutchman. Wow.
That was so unfortunate. Like, they did not account for the Squid just sitting on top of the checkpoint itself to stop them from getting the end at the top of the pedestal. And with that and another member down, they were just completely outnumbered when it came to popping the Rainmaker shield. They just didn't have the firepower to do it before the time ran out.
Yeah, it was honestly it was a tough ask for the members of Flying Dutchman there. It just seemed like Secret Elixir had all the answers to the pushes. Wug really wasn't able to move around the map as much as I'm sure she would have liked. I mean, having to follow the curling bonds is something that rollers do quite often, and now you don't do it in every scenario because then people will catch on to it. But the difficulty of that was you give up a little bit of paint not running a shooter, and I think Secret Elixir had the paint advantage, bringing that tactical cooler end zap over the roller. And while Wug's roller was able to do great things in certain scenarios, the shield placement there was great. Unfortunately, to get to the checkpoint, the shield just went down, and it wasn't enough. I think a bomb, as maybe the Rainmaker tried to dunk, hit the edge of the shield, and then it's kind of like standing too close to a splash wall, right? Where if you throw a bomb at it and the shield's too small, you instantly die. That might have been what happened there from the shield. And while I admire the play, unfortunately, it just did not work out for Flying Dutchman this time.
Indeed, it was a tight one right at the end there, and Secret Elixir able to bring it out on top of it. It's a tough one. Rainmaker score is a tough one, especially with how just tough these teams are to fight. It's just, you get one opening, and then when they lock down the defense like that, it's just impossible to break through.
Yeah. And we are going to be moving into our round 2 game. Actually, I almost think immediately here, as most of our round 1 games, at least the round 1 games for our next 2 teams, are going to be ready to go. So our next game that we are going to be seeing is going to be Frostbite versus Thembo IHOP. Taking a look at round 1 here, Frostbite beat Rabid 2-0, and Thembo IHOP did indeed have a bye in Group C. Either a team dropped, or obviously they have enough points to get that bye in round 1. I actually see 3 byes here in round 1. So Frostbite versus Thembo IHOP. 2 teams that are incredibly talented in a lot of regards. Sungura is definitely a team member you're going to have to want to watch out for on Frostbite, and Thembo IHOP. Just their entire team is a unit.
You can't pick one. They roll it and they just roll you over.
Yeah, I mean they are a fantastic team here, and it looks like they are essentially already getting in the room here. Taking a look at Thembo IHOP's results from last season, we don't have too much information on the players here, but we do have some of their past results. So from last season in Season 6, they've lost a couple games of Synergy. They 2-0'd Assault and Pepper, it seems like. I'm sorry, they got 2-0'd by Assault and Pepper. They've lost to Ink D. They have played Frostbite before, though, looking at this result in SAC Season 6 Qualifier 2. They ended up losing to Frostbite 1-2.
Interesting.
So this is a little bit of a run back match as well. Again, with some solid implications here.
Absolutely. Like with a 1-2, like that third match could have gone either way, like it's hard to tell whether it was like they just got unlucky with their map mode combination or just like the one misplay just allowed the Frostbite to get on top. So this could be a bit of a comeback for them, be able to come out in the 2-1 this time around. And I'm liking the maps lineup we have here. We have Clamblitz on Manta to start us out, and then Zones, Inkblot, and TC Hagovich. Like some solid choices right here.
Yeah, I mean, Splat Zones Inkblot is a classic. Clamblitz Manta Maria is also... I would say it's still Splatoon 2 Clamblitz Manta Maria in the long run. While we do have the new, of course, Splatoon 3 mechanics, the cool thing about the the Clamblitz here on Manta Maria is it hasn't really changed much from Splatoon 2. You still have that box on the left side if you really want to use it here. As we see some interesting comps coming out from both sides here. Thembo IHOP opting to run a Ninja Squid Brush, and on the side of Frostbite in the blue, again, seeing that Tacticooler come out, Mad.
Indeed, bringing out the Tacticooler. Both teams are rocking the Tacticooler here, just giving them a little bit extra speed, because, like, again, you lose too many members that could just break through your line of defense, so be able to get back to the fight as quickly as possible is essential. But already we're seeing 2 members of Thembo IHOP down for the count, and Frostbite just starting to move in. They are taking space. Like this street, the major change to this map is the widening of the street, and they are claiming it for their own.
Yeah, and that wave breaker is going to shut down the members of Thembo IHOP from even moving in, but a whale from the side is going to force Sungura. They're having to move up. But again, 2 members of Thembo IHOP just down, and you can see why right now Thembo IHOP lost to Frostbite here with this first amazing push. Frostbite is still on the offensive here with a couple of clans, and Champ just kind of running around trying to get some flanks, gets a bomb, manages to find one there, but unfortunately Sungura, just in such a powerful position, finally goes down, and you can see Frostbite still essentially in their pit there. The Tetra Duel is having to 2v1 that, and Frostbite put on a very solid opening push here, man.
Yeah, Frostbite didn't quite have the clams to keep the basket going, but they already have another power clam in their possession, so they could practically start another push if they're able to get an opening like that again. But the Tetra Duelies just being an absolute menace in IHOP's base. Like, they weren't able to clear them out completely, and Frostbite's already set up for a nice opening, and X-Ray trying to go in once again, but is able to be taken down before they can really do too much damage.
And Sungura at the top of your screen there did also go down to this. Is going to force the members of Frostbite to back up a little bit here as X-Ray now jumps in and falls once again. But of course the Nautilus on IHOP also falling. And I'm noticing the Nautilus pick here now more so, and I don't necessarily agree with this. Yes, you can use, I'm wondering if they want to use it to clear the street and keep the Naut, kind of on the street area to do a lot of damage, but they're not really able to challenge the range that Frostbite brings due to having the Nautilus.
Yeah, like not only like having the Splatling as their back arm, but then the Tetra Duelies once again just able to get in there so quickly, and when you combine that with the Tacticoolers, like you take them down, they're already back in a second. Frostbite getting it down to 24. They just need a power clam and then some, and they're just doing an absolute fantastic job of cleaning up IHOP right now. They are keeping them pinned down. Like every member is trying to go in and keep them out, but they're not able to do so effectively. They're just getting picked off one by one here, and the Reefs are going to come out, not able to get the splat, but it was just enough to distract them from before they get the clams in.
Yeah, X-Ray on the Tetra Duel is an absolute distraction for IHOP on the front line, and any mistake they made to push out of their spawn, out of their pit area from IHOP was met with the splatling of Sungura. So just absolute domination from that first game of Frostbite. Did not even give Thembo IHOP a chance to push into mid.
Nah, they took their start and they just rolled with it the entire way. And when they had the aggression and they had the comeback, but then I think the staying power that Frostbite was able to bring as well, you know, having the splatling in mid, able to get the jumps in, but then keeping the pressure up with their front line at the same time is like, they didn't let IHOP breathe at all during that match. There was no regrouping that they were able to do, even when they were able to keep the basket closed.
Yeah, they were, I just, Thembo IHOP, I don't think thought of the comp well enough going into that game, and knowing that longer range on Manta Maria is going to be more helpful there. While the Nautilus pick, I understand what it was in theory. Use the splatling lead around corners, use the splatling to clear the enemy's street. The other problem is you brought a regular ink brush, and the regular ink brush has absolutely no range, and you have to be able to have a lot of area control to let an ink brush move and play effectively, and that is something that IHOP just did not have there with the pressure of Frostbite.
No, absolutely. Now we'll have to see if they decide to change it up, because we are going into Zone's Inkblot Art Academy, which does have a little bit of a different game plan than Clan's Manta. It's not quite as linear as Manta Maria is. You do have that left flank, and then of course the flat area that has all the different ledges. I imagine we'll be seeing the Tentacle coming back again, but will we see the return of, say, the Ink Brush?
Yes, we will indeed. And foregoing the backline here is Frostbite in the green, but no comp switch on the side of Frostbite as well. Not seeing. Well, actually, yeah, they did have the splat. I'm pretty sure they did have the splatter shot last game, but yeah, this is a very standard comp from Frostbite, obviously having no change. If it ain't broke, don't fix it is always the saying here. And the first one to fall in this game is going to be Frostbite, but I like the change from IHOP here to forego a backline, especially on Splat Zone's Inkblot Art Academy. They want to put as much pressure as they can on their front lines. If the members of IHOP can get up to the flat of Frostbite is going to be in trouble here. But, of course, one of the biggest problems that Frostbite is going to have to deal with is going to be those Petroglyphs on X-Ray. It is one of those weapons that is very hard to fight 1v1. As 3 members go down, the blaster goes down. That is a delayed wipe now on the side of Thembo IHOP, Matt.
I think the other big change that they're going to benefit from is having that splash on hand, especially when they decide to keep the blaster. They really need a little bit of extra paint to contest IHOP. Like, we see here, they got so much red paint out there already, and that Tetrajewelry is able to just absolutely thrive off of that. They have to be able to take that paint back if they want their blaster or even their brush to be able to have any space to work with.
Oh my gosh, and that's another delayed 3-down situation from IHOP. And you know, something I'm noticing with IHOP is they're getting picked by bombs on their flat a little too often. They don't have the opportunity to push back in, because when they do push back in, they're already 2 down. But now with X-Ray down, there might be a chance here. As you see at the bottom of your screen, a great blaster direct from Len there. Now 2 down, the zone does switch. Frostbite does get a penalty, but look at how fast X-Ray's come back into this game as X-Ray goes down. Almost the turnaround direct there, but Reborn just staying alive in that corner right now.
X-Ray staying alive and just trying to keep them occupied, distract them a little bit, and the nice Zuka shot from the splatter shot, able to pick off the member off the top there, and with the Reslotter coming in to clean that up, they're going to be able to take the zone back before too many points are taken back, and once again, just the complete map flip from green to red is insane.
And what's crazy to me is this map flip and both times it's happened, it is stemmed from a single Tacticooler. As you said, Matt, the Tacticooler, the way you respawn fast, especially on a weapon like Petroglyphs, is an absolute menace. And I understand exactly why Frostbite likes to bring the Tacticooler comp. But even on the other side, Thembo IHOP are going to backline to get a little bit more aggressive with the blaster, as another great jet shot comes out from Lil there on the side of Frostbite there. The Tacticooler is really making a big difference in Thembo IHOP's game plan, I think, especially with this aggression is now paying, unfortunately, on the splash. Last one left alive, and Frostbite will continue to take down the penalty.
Yeah, once again, it just increases their long-term staying power. Like, they lose a couple of members, but then they're able to keep the rest of the map for the couple of seconds they need to bring them back. And as you said, they're just doing such a good job putting on the pressure of their own flag. Like, they're not giving IHOP a chance to really set up for a push. Now we see X-Ray. They go in with the reslider, but are going to be taken down. And so that's going to leave them man down, but they're able to take 2 members of IHOP with them.
Yeah, unfortunately, the push looked like it was going to start for IHOP there, Matt. But again, time and time again, we've seen just as the IHOP's about to execute, they lose multiple members of their team and are unable to execute effectively as the tactic cooler is just going to get thrown. Tuck's using it as a distraction, not going to be able to do much, but the zone does temporarily get neutralized here. And a member of Frostbite falls here. 2 members of Frostbite falls. 3 members of Frostbite fall. It is a 1v1 scenario here, and if Pain can win this, that will be the zone flip, but they really need to focus on the zone right now. Tuck is back in, and IHOP somehow, Mad, gets the zone through all of that, and now with a 3-down situation on the side of Frostbite, IHOP can finally take some space.
That game was decided in a split second. If the NZAP on Frostbite was able to hold out for even a second long, we saw the rest of their team coming in, swooping and trying to save them, but then they just weren't quite quick enough. Thembo IHOP was able to get the zone flip and the 3 down on top of, so now they're in control with no penalty points, getting close to that knockout. All they got to do is keep Frostbite out, and X-Ray is down. That is the spearhead point down. They are going to have to really push in if they want to take that. Oh, 2 members down. That might be the opening they need.
Yeah, it might be an opening. They need 3 members to go down. Damp is going to be forced to jump back. However, IHOP does have one more chance to get in the zone. They don't have a lot of time to do it, but they do have one more opportunity. They need to make sure they take out Ray first, but Sungura is going to be a problem, of course, sitting on that top plat here. 10 seconds left on the clock. It's now or never for IHOP. They're going to have to push in their final moments here. They need to at least neutralize the zone. 2 down, 3 down. That is a full wipeout, and that will be the game. Frostbite will take it 2-0 over IHOP, and IHOP had a great chance there to take the game back. It just wasn't enough. It was very close, though.
It was rather unfortunate. Like, once again, IHOP's comp did not benefit them in those last couple of seconds. Like, they had a lot of just being able to keep the zone. Like, if they were in control of the zone, they had a lot of defensive power, but they didn't have any opening specials to be able to break back in, so they are forced to basically use themselves to just push in. Of course, we saw how that went. A complete wipeout. They ran up against a brick wall and just fell over. They didn't have any Zukas, or I'm sorry, Ink Strikes or Booyah Bombs to really move them out of the way, and even the Crab wasn't quite enough to be able to get that opening.
No, unfortunately, it wasn't, and of course, that will be the set. Of course, Frostbite taking it 2-0. Now, we are going to be moving into round 3 of our groups shortly. Our next game will be seeing Octopi versus My Lag Paradise. Taking a look at their games as some games are going on in our group's format here. Taking a look at My Lag Paradise, who I believe, let's take a look at our standings here in the round here. Find My Lag Paradise. My Lag Paradise in round 1 took a loss, while Octopi took a win in our Group H here. So that is the group you are going to want to be paying attention to, as we will be seeing Octopi versus My Lag Paradise. And currently in round 2, we have Octopi up 1-0 on La 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 La. That's a great team name, by the way. I gotta admit, that's great.
Oh man, that I'm sure that would be fun to say on stream.
So I want to see, though, back in round 1, Group H, who did My Lag... Oh, My Lag Paradise fell 1-2 to La 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 La. Okay, and Octopi took the 2-0 against Sweet Tooth, and of course, our current round 2 games are going on right now. So, Matt, I think with that, while we wait on this round 2 to settle in, we're going to take a quick break.
That sounds good to me. We'll be right back.
Welcome back, everybody, to the final tournament before SAC's Season 7 final. We have our round 3 match coming up here. Once again, if you are just joining us, my name is J-Man. I am partnered here with IMAD today on commentary, and we're going to be bringing you Octopi versus MyLag Paradise for our round 3 matchup.
Yes, indeed. This is our final of the rounds. We're going to be seeing the Octopi versus MyLag Paradise. And Octopi, we all know and love, has been on the rise lately, so looking for some good things for them. But MyLag Paradise, I'm not too familiar with their work.
MyLag Paradise does have some records in past SAC season. From what I look at, they do only have, they only seem to have played in Qualifier 1 last season, but they have some pretty looking at the teams they played, they had some pretty tough matchups. Healthy Diet Food Groups, Shadow, Yell, and Sheer Cold are the 3 teams that I noticed that are really notable. Unfortunately, they did not seem to take a game off of either of these teams. But apparently, Octopi is a team that they have played a lot. Because I'm looking at their Battle5 chat, and the first message I see is, again, lol. And I also see in the Twitch chat, we do see some people saying a rematch as well. So this is a matchup between these 2 teams that has probably happened before, Matt.
Indeed. And who do you think has been the winner as of now?
Well, going on our current standings, Octopi is 2-0 in our group stage, while Lag Paradise has been on the struggle bus a little bit today. They are 0-2 as we immediately get into Rainmaker Museum, Dal Foncino, and Matt and Boing, who is our streamer for today. We were talking about it, Goldab on the Glooga Dualies, and there they are. Those Glooga Dualies could be a problem here. A lot of damage in that roll stance, a lot of distance in that roll stance, Matt, and something you don't see very often in Splatoon 3 meta.
No, with just the like the speed of like the tactical meta and just all the shooters that you have going doesn't usually find its way into comp, especially with how difficult it is to pick up. It's not quite as intuitive as some of the other weapons, but you know, we're seeing some good use of it so far. But right now, MyLag Paradise is 2 members down, and they do have Octopi on a bit of a rope shift. They have the Rainmaker in possession, but they're getting weeded out slowly here.
Yeah, Harry was actually just buying a little bit of time there, it seemed like, Matt. And they did a solid job of that as Potato now sitting, of course, on that mid spinner. With the Z and F charger, as we see the Tri-Strikes come out, this should be Octopi getting the checkpoint as Goldad does take out the charge in the back line, gets 2 before falling there. So this might not be a larger push for Octopi as the hammer gets thrown. Taking on the side of MyLag Paradise, just going to opt to drop the Rainmaker. Honestly, a smart play if you are MyLag Paradise, even if you are going to take the death there. Get it off your flat.
That's right, they wanted to nip that push in the bud before it could really get out of hand, because they do have several members respawning at the moment, and so that is going to give them the time to get the 2 members down off of Octopi, maybe give them a chance to start pushing back in. They do have quite a bit of map control now, and they're starting to make a push of their own and potentially getting the checkpoint here, but the Charger says, no, not today.
That was an incredible shot from the Charger on Octopi. Had a fraction of a window to make that shot and did not. The Rainmaker did not go far. Immediately jumped up and Aching, I think, was just sharking around their drop there. Managed to pick the Rainmaker from behind there, Matt, and very solid play there. And I wonder if Goldub knows that there might be someone hanging around there. I don't know if they saw him jump back. So they're going to be looking for a pick on the Charger. Not going to find it. Gets 1 hit. Unfortunately, that's not going to be enough. What we can do is, as the splatter shots accuracy increase is going to end that fight rather quickly here. And it's, again, we have a little bit of a fight for neutral. Dindler just sitting on the wall trying to buy some time here. I don't know if the members of IHOP are aware. Now they do. Unfortunately, Dindler pushes out a little bit early there. They're not able to take advantage. Now Harry, in an engagement, not going to be able to find a pick on to Sage.
Goldby here getting pinchered between the Charger and the Crab. Just nowhere to go except back to spawn. And so that's going to be 2 down off of MyLikeParadise here. Sage getting a bit of a trade there, but Octopi is going to be pushing onto the plat once again. And they are getting at so much ground right here with the strike just leading the way, but they are going to be taken down at the 31 mark.
31 honestly is a pretty solid push on this map. The hardest part, and I know, Matt, we talked about this, the hardest part about pushing the Rainmaker up, especially on a map like Museum d'Alfonsino here, is while you do get more points fastest on the running around that left side, it's very bomb spammable in that corner, meaning your point shut down is very quickly. It also allows your opponents to do exactly that and get a free drop into the corner, forcing you to reposition, forcing you to essentially reposition your entire team if you want to be able to make another push. And we see now, as Octopi goes 2 down here, the members of MyLikeParadise finally being able to push back into the little bit good. But Sage, just a menace with that Splatoon wiper down below, finds another pick onto Aching, throws the hammer onto Harry, who I think might have popped a special there and just goes down instantaneously.
Man, I don't think LikeParadise was expecting the second Charger because they just got absolutely sniped by that hammer right there. And Octopi's just got a lot of map control to be able to keep control of this lead right now. Like, they're not giving LikeParadise any chance to be able to move back in.
I like this defensive jump out as well for the Charger. They do have the ink strikes available. They're not aware of this flank though as Goldub moves up. And I love this position of the crab tank that I believe Snoo has been using like every time. That is such a devastating position when that spinner stops, because you cannot make that jump with the Rainmaker. In that regard, as Harry goes down in the corner, I believe that was a jump into Sage there at the top of your screen. And now with map control firmly in Octopi's favor, it's not a lot of time left for MyLikeParadise to make a move.
Yeah, with 20 seconds remaining, like, they don't even have to touch the Rainmaker anymore. They just got to keep that Rainmaker shield in existence. And MyLikeParadise, they have to be able to push for it. They have to be able to pick it up if they want to stay in this game, but they have 10 seconds to do so. And with the Charger online and watching that, they're not going to have much of a chance to do so.
They also need someone to pick up the Rainmaker, and they do manage to pick up the Rainmaker, but unfortunately the ball point on MyLikeParadise will fall. They need to make this jump here. Oh, that is so unfortunate. The fall-off damage actually from the member of Octopi just shooting at the Rainmaker was enough. I wonder if the members of MyLikeParadise should have just committed to the jump there, or if they got shot mid-jump, because it seemed like they fell. Like, it looked like they were going to make the jump, but it seemed like maybe they took a little bit of damage, and that damage was enough to just stop them from getting up the ledge.
Yeah, they're just a little bit short. They fell before they could make the ledge, and they did have quite a bit of map control. They could have possibly taken that checkpoint if they were able to make the jump, but just was unfortunate they got shot down before they could do so. So that is going to be Octopi taking the first game of Rainmaker in Museum, and quite strongly, I must say. Like, they were able to get it down to 31 and not let MyLikeParadise even get the checkpoint. So I'm curious to see how this plays out in Clam Scorch, which relies heavily on a lot of momentum.
Yeah, not only does it rely on a lot of momentum, the thing with Clam Scorch is it can be over after one simple goal break. There are so many clams in the middle of this map because the map is so large in the center specifically. Clams spawn like crazy, so you definitely have to put on some good defense if you want to stop your opponents from making larger pushes. Granted, the big downside here of Clam Blitz is you really only have that one push avenue to get to the basket, which can make for better defensible positions, especially having access once again to that snipe cage area that we talk about all the time.
Yes, indeed. Now, of course, even though we do have the main area coming on the right side, once again, we still have the grates on the left side. We haven't seen... Well, actually, no, we did see the ballpoint getting rocked out there. That does make good use of it, as well as the crab. But really, we don't have too many flanking weapons that will be using much of that grate area. So, once again, yeah, it will be most of the action in the ramp going up to the basket, especially once they're going to be making that push. But yeah, again, like Octopi had such a dominant force out in the middle between the charger and just the crab action, and even the wiper able to just shark and keep them on their toes. Is like My Like Paradise is really gonna have to find a fix to be able to push back in, because if they let Octopi in, they're not gonna be able to push them out too easily.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right. I mean, the wiper did seem to be an issue anytime, My Like Paradise wanted to make the push in that last game. The wiper was there to shut it down. The wiper was sharking all over the place. I wouldn't be surprised if we do see Sage for Octopi play that wiper again as we get into Flame with Scorched Gorge. And I'm also not going to be surprised if once again we see that ballpoint crab tank combination as well on Octopi. There's some very solid spots you can crab tank here. And it looks like on the side of My Like Paradise, there was a sub in Vapor is now in the game for My Like Paradise and is playing Explosher on Clam Blitz, which is a very interesting pick.
That is interesting indeed, especially considering they're still keeping with the Galuga dualies. So like they have the two shooters for their paints, but they're... Oh man, especially going at that charger, the backline is going to have a tough time. They're already seeing two members down on My Like Paradise. Aiken trying to get a pick. It does take down the charger before getting shut down themselves, but already Octopi has the map control, has two power glams in their possession, and are knocking on My Like Paradise's door.
But I love this defensive play from Gold here, from Goldab, where they're able to just put the splash wall up, and then they're able to just sit behind the wall and shoot. You got to remember that when those Galuga dualies are in their the combined roll stance, essentially, it does get 13%, if I recall correctly, more range, which makes a huge difference, and it becomes a two-shot kill on top of that. So it is a very powerful weapon in the right hands, and Goldab, seems to have some mastery over those dualies here with the Booyah Bomb at the ready. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe we see that Booyah Bomb get popped to try and clear the cage, but it looks like Goldab is just trying to harass the charger on Octopi a little bit, and I love how patient they are in doing it. They do manage to find the pick onto the charger. Unfortunately, the splash wall comes out and it immediately gets bombed, and Goldab will fall there, but a very important pick for My Like Paradise, but they didn't seem to get a lot of momentum from it.
Yeah, taking down the charger was absolutely essential because they did have those strikes on them, which would have absolutely shut down any sort of push they tried to make up that ramp, but they didn't really have any clams to make that push to begin with. They had like 6 and 4, which was enough for a power clam, but they just weren't collected into that power clam that they needed, and so now they're back at 6, and Octopi once again has a power clam in their possession and is knocking on their front door trying to move in. And once they get those specials online, especially that crab up on top, they're going to be able to get that in and get that going unless they're able to put a stop to them.
Oh, and I thought for a second there at the top of your screen, Goldab was going to jump across, like do the backflip squid roll around the other player, not able to there, maybe looking for the charger's paper, now sitting on the cage here, is going to try and get some damage here. It's really interesting to see an Explosion as 3 members go down. The Inkstorm is going to get popped. And the first score of the game, mind you, is going to happen about halfway in.
I feel like the Explosion is one of those unique weapons to be able to contest the charger, because you can essentially take a shot at him without having to move from your cover, which is what you want to see. But when you have the charger set up on your own snipe like that, there isn't really a whole lot of cover to speak of, and already we're seeing Octopi in that position where if they have the clams to their name, they could potentially knock this out right now with the amount of control that they have, but they do lose 2 of the members in the process.
Goldab does manage to shut it down, though, and that should be the end of the push for Octopi. A very solid push there. And you notice as well, Sage moved up without clams and sat under that ledge on the right side there of basket on from the perspective of Octopi, and that made for a very dangerous position, and you see Potato is just not missing these shots. That is insane. I mean, you saw them pick off the Crab Tank to help them extend their push in a 3-down scenario. That is going to be a delayed wipe, and Potato just has a free run into the basket. There are no members of My Like Paradise up right now, and the penalty is gone. The score continues to fall. My Like Paradise has to find something. They need to push Potato off of this. They need to get Potato off the flat, and they do, as Golden moves in, finds 2, but no backup there. Comes in, is now Octopi still able to have a little bit of control of the corner, and Stimler's going to move in. Gonna fall, but manages to get 1 clam in there, so now it is a matter of defense here. But there's 2 of them sharking here. I mean, that is just absolutely mean, man.
Oh man, like they had such a lucky break right there. We had 3 clams just spawn right on that ramp there. If they were able to get all 3 in, that would have been game, but just the defensive pressure of My Like Paradise was enough to keep them out from the basket closing. But the 2 members of Octopi on the just shark underneath that ledge, ready to go in. Oh man, that would have been havoc if they were able to just went by them without even noticing.
Yeah, the biggest thing that My Like Paradise just seems to be struggling with this game is they're not able to put pressure on this charger at all. The aggression from the members of Octopi is a little bit too strong, and Potato is just sitting back in mid. You need to get your Explosher in position to even threaten that, and they can't even do that because the basket is constantly breaking. There's now 2 members finally go down on the side of Octopi again, but look at Sage, not caring, immediately moves up, gets some clams, got 2 more in, extended the timer. They have 3 more clams. I don't think they're going to be able to score, though, at the time, and now 3 members are down here. This is a chance for My Like Paradise, but they have to essentially make this a knockout, and Golden needs to find the pick. Oh, gets absolutely destroyed by the jumping in Splatoon wiper, and there's only 1 power clam left on the field. 2 power clams. They need to pick 1 up. That's 3 down on the side. It's a 1v1 right now. Wins the 1v1. They need to go score. They don't have time. That's a wipeout. Will they get the basket breaking time, Matt? Yes, they will, but it's still a long way to go.
They were in such a good position. Like, they had the 2 power clams plus the extra pity that spawned, and if they were able to get them all in, they could have been set to be able to take the lead back, but nonetheless, they just didn't have enough clams, even though they had such a clutch play by their splash shot there. Like, that could have opened up so many doors, but now Octopi is in a really good defensive position. That Crab just sitting on the ramp, saying, no, not today, we are going to take this win, and me moving on.
Yeah, and they are going to be taking the set as well with that. Octopi's defense held incredibly strong, and there was an opportunity there. I mean, you saw the other power clam jump in. Unfortunately, 2 issues with that power clam jump again. 1, Potato on the charger was looking directly at the jump because they saw it. Must have not been a Ninja Squid jump. Secondly, the power clam then was too far away from the basket, so even if they did land, it wasn't going to be an immediate throw, and they needed to move up a little bit more in that position. The power clam also then did fall off the map, which was unfortunate, but even before that power clam fell off on the map, you saw that there was a 2-down situation on My Like Paradise with nobody able to apply pressure on that front side of that like flat area. And unfortunately, for My Like Paradise, they will fall 2-0 to Octopi.
Yeah, it is unfortunate. Like, Octopi has such a strong showing in these 2 matches. Like, again, even though that My Like Paradise was so close, or at least had an opportunity to bring that back, just Octopi overall was able to just keep a lot of pressure going, just a lot of map control for the majority of those 2 matches, and that allowed them to stay on top for the set.
I still kind of want to know what the decision was to go Explosher there and not bring like a ballpoint or a heavy splatling with the Wave Breaker, because Wave Breaker, especially on Clam Blitz Scorch, I feel can put a lot of pressure on your opponent's plat area. A lot of, it makes it a lot harder for them to push up in that defensive position. And then the ballpoint, obviously we've said a lot about ballpoint, the Inkjet and the power that Inkjet has right now to get behind enemy lines, able to challenge back lines with that extra jump height, really making the back line make sure they aim. The Explosher was a very interesting choice offensively. Defensively, I could see it getting some use, but offensively, it seemed like they just weren't able to, they weren't able to really challenge the Charger at all on the side of Octopi, and I think it cost them in the end.
Honestly, I feel like, with Vapor subbing in for that last match, it was probably a comfort pick, because I know Vapor is a bit of a Explo main, so maybe, or just Scorch Gorge in particular, like, that is their backline weapon of choice, so going for that extra range, that was the one they felt most comfortable using, but yeah, going up against the Fire Fin, and with how well they use that Fire Fin as well, it was hard to be able to make much presence on it.
Yeah, Explosher is one of those weapons where you definitely need to make sure your players who can play aggressive do win their fights. Explosher does very well when it has a lot of space and it then is able to pressure a large area. Like, for example, look at Splatoon's Mincemeat Metalworks. You put the Explosher up on any point in that snipe, and the Explosher can just constantly throw Exploshes in. Once you have control of the zone, you can move up toward that truck, and then you can start hitting the enemies. Flat area from there. And that's why Explosher is so strong on Splatoon's Mincemeat Metalworks. But Clamblitz was a very interesting pick. I feel like if the members of My Like Paradise won their fights a little more, I think the Explosher would have gotten a little bit more use, but Sage on the Viper made sure that was not going to be an issue for the members of Octopi, and they did it well.
Yeah, it was a tough fight. Like, Octopi is such a strong opponent to go up against, and so they certainly put up an excellent fight, but just yeah, it was a tough one. It was a tough one. Indeed. But nonetheless,
no, go ahead. All you.
That is going to be the end of our third round. So anything to finish up before we take a break before our top cut?
I think I am okay. We are going to be bringing, of course, Mad and I will be here for our top cut round 1 next, which of course is going to be our top 16. Following that, Mad, big MVP of the day, staying on commentary for you all the entire tournament. So I have to give absolute props to Mad for staying on comms all day, because Mad will be joined, of course, by Genie once we get into top 8.
That's right, y'all are stuck with me to the end of today, but we'll be right back, so don't go anywhere, and we'll stay tuned. Hello everyone. Welcome back to week 4 of SAC. We are in our season 7 top cut. It is I, Mad Gamer II, and joined once again by the J-Man. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. It was a little bit of a break. We understand that. That is okay. There was some seating issues, kind of in the background, but that's all right. Everything is fixed, so we apologize for the delay. And we're bringing we have 16 matches in gold bracket. It's technically what would we consider, Mad, a top 32, although there's only 22 teams because of all the buys and stuff and the way the seating worked out this time. So, weird setup. It kind of added another round into our top cut here, but that is okay because we are here for top cut round 1 with Unlimited, Woomy, reUnited versus Smithereens. Or, well, formerly known as Sanctuary here in the SAC.
That's right, and honestly, I am excited to get into this. Like, it is top cut, so these are the teams that have put in the work. They have shown their stuff so far, so we'll be expecting quite a bit of good gameplay coming in these next couple of matches. Now, Unlimited, Woomy, reUnited, and then Sanctuary. Like, what can we expect from these two teams?
Honestly, you can probably expect a lot of stuff, just even looking at Sanctuary's roster. Devore and Ozuna, definitely going to want to watch out for those two, but Joshi is also a menace on the side of Sanctuary based on some of their past results here. They have some really, really good numbers looking at their past results. 2-1 against Silly Kitties last season, 2-0 against Rabid, 2-0 against Armageddon. There's some good teams that they have played, and there are teams that all their games I feel have been relatively close. Like, even I see a couple 0-2s on there, but I remember these matches. They're matches against Mercy. Huge matches for Sanctuary, aka Smithereens here, and they did such a good job. They are such a fun team to watch in general, and we should be in for a very enjoyable first round. Something to note as well, Matt, is our next commentator, Genie, kind of came in, and we were talking about our current top 8 standings. So for those wondering, our next tournament is, of course, the SAC Finals, and a few of those teams that are already in have qualified. Sanctuary, I believe, is one of them. Loded Dipper is another one. Velocity's got a big chance here. Frostbite, if they place well here, I also believe has a solid chance to get into our final tournament. Thembo IHOP, I believe, though, is one of the teams that is in our bracket that has a chance to get in, provided 2 other teams place well, and one of those teams is Frostbite. So if you are a fan of Thembo IHOP and you want to see them truly get into the finals, you definitely have to take a look at where Frostbite, one of the teams, places in this tournament, because that matters a lot if you're an IHOP fan.
Yes, we've already seen Frostbite in action, so they certainly have a lot of steam behind them going into this top cut. So, it's like, it would not be surprised if they were able to push it to the maximum. But Rabid also is just, they are a top contender for teams. So if either of these teams face off against each other, like, it is not easy to just see who could come out on top in that fight. But just looking at our map lineup, Tower Control, Eeltail, like, I have not seen Eeltail is not in a long time. Like, it just hasn't been in tournament pools as much.
It's what can we say about Eeltail that hasn't already been said? It's pork mackerel, but worse. I guess it's like, is that a way to? It's a long line. It's walleye warehouse, pork mackerel. It's just it's a giant lane. There's one giant lane with such minimal cover. It's Eeltail.
There's only one direction, that is forward. It's a straight line, and did it get narrower in the last revamp they had?
I would hope not, because when they initially showed it off, it was a much wider map than what we got in the final game. So hopefully it gets a rework. I think we're all hoping on some map reworks. Whether you're just watching or whether you're competing in the tournament, you want some of these maps to be reworked, and eventually maybe that will happen. But unfortunately, we are going to be starting on Tower Control, Eeltail Alley, followed by a map mode combination in Splatoon 3 that we seem to be seeing a lot, but it's quite enjoyable to watch, and that's Rainmaker Undertow Spillway.
Yes, indeed. Like Rainmaker Undertow, like it's not the map mode you'd expect to see, but somehow it seems to have worked out quite well. Like just for the zones on Undertow is you got the dual zone with the ridge down the middle. Like it makes it kind of awkward, but with Rainmaker, that ridge has a little bit of just like not necessarily high ground, but the terrain makes it very unique and just makes it difficult to kind of fight your way through to the mid. But like once you get into the checkpoints, be able to lock down with that Rainmaker, especially on that left side, you just got a lot of cover to help you out there.
All right, yeah, and what was also really cool about Rainmaker Undertow Spillway is I believe we're just waiting on one more one more member to enter the room, and then we're going to get matches underway here. Something to note about Rainmaker Undertow Spillway as well is that it's unique. Your main push is going to be essentially what is a longer route to get points, but that push on that left side is the one that provides teams the most opportunity to not only have cover, but the most opportunity to kind of position themselves in ways where they can counter the defenders. The right side is a much faster push on Undertow, but of course the big worry about that is the giant uninkable. However, that first checkpoint on the right side can be quite useful, especially if you haven't broken a checkpoint yet, as that checkpoint is the faster of the first two to break.
And so the other dangerous part of going on that right side is like it's right underneath the enemy spawn, so even if you get the wipeout, they're going to be respawning like right on top of your head, so while you're trying to get up that slicks area, it's going to be difficult trying to get any more points beyond that because they're going to be able to pick you off pretty easily.
I see. Yeah. And you're right, the spawn is one of those things why you do avoid the right side on Undertow Spillway. And of course, Matt, if it comes to it, we do have that Game 3 Clamblitz Museum Dalfontino, which honestly I think is a great map mode combination for Splat 3.
Oh, absolutely. Like, unlike Rainmaker where you got to go all the way past up into deep into the enemy base, like you got the basket right at the end of that plat area, right on the other side of the spinner, so you don't really have to push in too far, but once you do, you got a nice lockout position there from both the top of the spinner and just around that cushion. But right now we're going to be starting off on Tower Control Eeltail Alley, and we're going to be seeing what's going to be coming out here. We do see the NZAP and the Vanilla Try coming out from the side of Smithereens here.
Yeah, this is a very interesting comp on the side of Unlimited Woomy reUnited. Axiom on the Texture Dualies is nothing surprising, but they are running a Rapid Deco Pro and a Carbon Deco, which is something that I think is going to end up hurting them in the paint department in the long run as the two front lines immediately go down and the members of Smithereens have the more traditional comp mat that we've been seeing recently with a splatter shot and zap and then a ballpoint follow-up. But what makes Smithereens comp really dangerous is to fall down to the killer whale on the side of Unlimited Woomy reUnited. What makes the comp of Smithereens really dangerous is that Tri-Slosher. That is I believe a second tactical if I'm not mistaken.
Actually, no, that's going to be the Inkjet on that one. It's got Poison Mist and Inkjet.
That's right. I forgot the swap. I always get the two try kits confused, but Unlimited Woomy reUnited finally making their presence known. They are able to push past that first checkpoint here, going for the second checkpoint, and nothing. Having to challenge Josh, he's only getting a lot of chip damage, not going to have the range to challenge, and unfortunately is going to get spotted out here as the members of Smithereens move back in the mid and take very quick control over it.
I feel like this is the one map where they can get away with not having a whole lot of pavements because, like, you can't get around them. You have to be able to go through them. So even if you throw out all the paints in the world, like, if they still outrage you, they can out-chip you. It's like, you got nowhere to go. They can just take you down and just move over where you were while you're coming back from spawn.
Zacian, unfortunately, for Smithereens, got called out there. Manages to get one in the trade, though, but the members of Unlimited Woomy reUnited still continuing to make their push here, and Sanctuary push back, and this will be the second checkpoint falling for Unlimited Woomy reUnited here. Now the Carbon is going to be able to shark onto this ledge, which is the position you did not want to have this Carbon in if you're the members of Sanctuary, but two members go down, and the Carbon cleans up one, gets some damage on the, it looked like Joshy there in the corner who pops the Inkjet, but they're not going to be able to stay on the tower for long as a jump might be coming in on top of the tower. Yes, it does. They're just going to opt to not go for points right now, as you can see in the top corner of the end. That trying to deal with the tower, not going to be able to. Does get it, but unfortunately, three members are going to fall, Matt, and that will be the third checkpoint.
Smithereens is able to get a splat or two off of Woomy reUnited. They have so much momentum going into this that they're able to just get the KO off their second push. I just didn't give Smithereens, aka Sanctuary, a chance to make any ground at all during that match.
No, and it seemed like for a minute there, Smithereens got control back over mid, but they just didn't seem to clear out the Carbon, and the Carbon ended up giving them some issues there. And while Zacian did have a good opportunity on a flank to try and take out one of the members of Unlimited Woomy reUnited, they ended up getting called out and then lost in a trade situation. So there goes one of your front lines down while the enemy is already pushing, and that turned into a pretty rough situation if you're Smithereens.
Yeah, it's like when you get into those last couple of points, it's hard not to panic there. And it looked like Smithereens was a little bit staggered right there. As you said, just the splats that the Carbon was able to get off just kept them off balance, and they weren't able to get any specials online to really stop the push completely. So that tower just kind of slid into the KO spot without any issue.
Yeah, it didn't seem like there was a lot of... It didn't seem like on the side of Smithereens there was as much coordination as I think they would have liked. Right, I feel like they had a comp that was going to be able to do things. Unfortunately, they were just not only able to not deal with Carbon Roll, as we talked about, but that Rapid Pro in the back really doing that chip damage. And it felt like more that Unlimited Woomy reUnited had a chip damage comp more than anything with the Blaster. With the Blaster in combination with the Carbon Roller. And that, of course, not to mention they also had Tetra Dualies up front as well.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like that was the most surprising thing. Like, they had a Carbon Roll and a Tetra Dualie, but they didn't have any tactical weapons. Like, typically, that's what you see with a combo of those two aggressive weapons, just having some sort of tactical to back them up.
As we get immediately into Game 2, not seeing a change of comp on the side of Sanctuary, obviously sticking with the Tri-Strikes over the Inkling here, but we do see a change on the side of Unlimited Woomy reUnited, bringing out the Jet Squelcher, the custom Jet Squelcher as well, which also got a very nice recent buff.
Indeed, that's going to bring out the Raid and Toxic Mist. Toxic Mist for Rainmaker is so powerful because even though it doesn't splat you right back to spawn, it'll still slow you down long enough for someone else to clean it up. It's like you can't pass away, especially when you have Undertow Spill with all the narrow passageways you gotta get through in order to get points.
I also just noticed something in that clip there, but nothing on the Jet Squelcher is actually running Thermal Ink, I believe. As you can see, Joshi momentarily on the side of Smithereens through the wall from the perspective of the Jet Squelcher as three members of Sanctuary go down. Zacian able to at least delay their push for now as the members of Unlimited Woomy reUnited looking to clear some space on this left side to push up to that checkpoint.
Yeah, there was a Woomy reUnited is going to be taking the safe path up this left side, and honestly, for the long run, that's definitely the way you want to go. Active here trying to make some headway, but ends up getting taken down. So that's going to be both of their frontliners down at the account. But as it is a 2v2 situation, they are going to be able to get the checkpoint off of that and be able to secure this corner.
Yeah, it just seems like they're not really, if you're Smithereens right now, you're not really dealing with the threats up front that you should be dealing with, it feels like, as nothing finally goes down there and the Tetris is going to fall. So this is going to give them a chance to at least try and push out, but the Rainmaker is just going to be keen here, Matt, to sit back in that corner and spam shots. So the Inkjet is going to be forced on the side of Sanctuary, and that's kind of big because you're not going to be able to use that Inkjet to clear this right side.
Indeed, like that is what you want to do, is like just be able to bait out some of the utility that your opponents have so they can't use it for their own push. But right now, Woomy reUnited still has quite a bit of map control in mid, and with the Carbon and Tetra in play, like that's exactly what you want because they'll be able to sharpen those corners. Now I'm surprised, I thought for sure the Rainmaker got knocked over the edge, but it has not been reset yet. However, it is going to be ready set to mid now, so Smithereens has an opportunity to push forward, but already Woomy reUnited is pushing back in, and with the strikes coming out, that's going to cause Smithereens to have to move.
Yes, it will, but it seems like no one's going down on either side right now, and you're definitely going to want to have to watch Zacian in here, because with the Tri-Strikes coming out, and I like the position of that second Tri-Strike go through, it just prevents anybody from going up on the snipe. As Zacian moves up and finds one pick, that is a huge pick there, unfortunately falls to the Carbon there, not aware that the Carbon was there, that needs to and the Sharky doing really well. Oh, what an amazing double from an Inkzuka, the perfect lineup at the perfect time, and that is a huge advantage for Unlimited Woomy reUnited.
So you can't even tell whether that was a direct or if that was the new 60 damage coming into play, but nonetheless, an excellent shot. Smithereens is going to try to follow it up, but they lose 3 of their members, including their Inkjet user. So now it's just trying to make something happen, but they're going to be shut down almost immediately, open up a way for Woomy reUnited to be pushing back in.
Yeah, I think Joshy needed to play that a little more patiently. Got hungry for the kill, knowing that there's probably a carbon roller somewhere. Oh my god, these Inkling Zuka shots from Woomy are absolutely insane. As Zacian is going to end up getting the trade, but the Rainmaker is still being pushed there, and now it is in that narrow pipeline, so you could probably imagine this is going to be the end of the push temporarily for Unlimited Woomy reUnited. But something to note is that Sanctuary has not broken a single checkpoint yet. We have 90 seconds left on the clock here. They really have to be aware of where the Carbon on Unlimited Woomy reUnited is positioned. I feel like the Carbon is giving them so many issues, as you can see at the top of your screen. The Carbon gets another. Carbon finally falls there, and now the last one left is going to be nothing on that Jet Sculpture, who has a huge advantage in tempering the Rainmaker here, but goes down to a very well-placed Rainmaker shot. And oh, here comes some backup from the members of Sanctuary, and they're finally able to get to the checkpoint, but their push is not done.
Oh yes, they were able to get the checkpoint and keep pushing up, but the Carbon Roller coming up from behind to clean it up. That's just going to remain the try left alive. So they weren't quite able to get the lead off of that, and they weren't even able to get to the 6th area. And with 40 seconds remaining, Woomy reUnited is going to be reset in there, but they honestly could have held it at some point, but it probably was a dangerous decision to do so just because of how close it was to where they themselves got the lead. But with the Rainmaker reset to mid and 20 seconds remaining, they just got to get some specials online to shut them down when the time runs out.
Indeed, it's definitely going to come down to a knockout situation here. If you are Sanctuary, you need to get a knockout, and unfortunately your try goes down here. Zacian goes down there on the left side of your screen. As the Rainmaker goes down, that's going to be a delayed wipeout there, actually a full-on wipeout, and that should be the game right there, as the Rainmaker is just going to run back and Unlimited Woomy reUnited. Round 1, knocking Sanctuary or Smithereens clean out of the tournament.
Man, like, you're MVP of that Carbon. Like, not only were they a menace in the traditional sense of a Carbon Roller, but they were picking off squids from across the map with that Zuka shots. Holy moly.
Yeah, you gotta give props to where I gotta give props. I believe that was I believe it was, who was it on the Carbon at the time? Was it Woomy? It was Woomy on the Carbon, and man, absolutely incredible Inkzukas coming out of Woomy there, and just you're right, an absolute menace on the side of Unlimited Woomy reUnited, and it just seemed like that Smithereens did not have an answer for this Carbon Roller, as these 2 maps, Tower Control, Eel Tail, and Rainmaker Undertow, played really well into the Carbon Roller's strengths with those little ledges.
Exactly, and I feel like with the support they were having from that, the Jet Squelcher, like not only just the chip damage, but then also the Toxic Mist coming out, like so many of the opponents were just getting stuck in those Toxic Mists and just made it easy pickings for both the Carbon and the Tetris to finish them off.
Yeah, and that is unfortunately how it goes sometimes, Mad. And sometimes you get into Top Cut and it is over as fast as it starts. And unfortunately for Smithereens, that is going to do it for their tournament run today. So we'll have to see where Unlimited Woomy reUnited goes as we take a look at a couple of the bracket matches going on here. Getting a few games in. Vroom taking it over Shadow Wizard Money Gang at the bottom of the screen there in round 1. That's a huge win if you are Vroom there. And a match I definitely want to also highlight that already happened technically in our round 2 games, Mad, was Velocity losing to Sweet Tooth.
Dang. Yeah, so Velocity going down to Sweet Tooth. They did have a bye in that first round there, but Sweet Tooth taking that 2-0. Like, yeah, 2-0 on top of that. I want to see what the numbers for that was.
Yeah, I would like to see how close those games were. I wonder if it came down to one push or if it was a knockout, but it seems like I want to actually take a look at Sweet Tooth's roster here. Keto, Junkie, Hermit. Okay. I see it. That's actually that's a good matchup. Those are good teams. Both of them. Velocity, for those who don't know, was the team today that was consisting of Dat Kid, Yata, Bronze, and Greg, Griguru. A lot of you know him as. So he was there as well. So nice to see them playing as well a little bit. Nice to see the members of Velocity coming out and having a good time. But Mad, unfortunately, that will do it for me. We are going to be doing a live comm switch here as I welcome in the commentator for the rest of the tournament with you, Mad. Genie 7, everybody.
Yes,
Yo, J-Man, before you go, though, shout yourself out.
Nah, I'm good, bro. Today, I'm relaxing. I'm taking the day. But yeah, if any of you are interested and you do want to find me, you can find me on all social medias at CAJman777. So I'm there. You can find me around, but enjoy the rest of the tournament as Genie will be joined with Mad for the rest of it. I gotta head out. Thank you guys and good luck.
Thank you. Have a good rest of your day.
And he gone. Alright, Imad. I've got some Red Bull here for you, or non-sponsored energy drinks here, and some bread. You want it to keep you going?
Oh, sounds good to me.
Yep.
We'll be snacking down on that as we wait for our next round to get set up. So we'll be going to a short break, so stay tuned. Well, hello everyone, welcome back. We are now going into our top 16 of SAC. Once again, it is I, Mad Gamer II. I am joined by the one and only Genie. How are you doing today, my friend?
I'm doing absolutely amazing, and I know you have been here for the long run, and I can't thank you enough for this. We've got a great match here, Frostbite versus Vroom. On paper here, Imad, we've got underdog in Vroom, who are making, I'm pretty sure this is this is definitely the first appearance in gold for the gold side of SAC. Frostbite, they are one of our teams in our wildcard race. Imad and I will be talking about this a lot. Top two teams in this tournament and qualifiers 1, 2, and 3 are all moving on. Top two and you're in. The rest of the teams throughout the regular season are fighting for points. Smithereens/Sanctuary are in on points from previous tournaments. They're there. Frostbite is currently sitting in third, and they need to make it to round 3 to guarantee themselves enough points that they will be in with their previous results, which means win against Vroom and you're in. And what Vroom wants to do is, if they want to make finals, they got to come first or second. Nothing less than that.
Oh, that is going to be a tall order, and go up against Frostbite as well. Like, we've seen Frostbite in action. They are a tough team to fight against. Like, they got all the rush coming out, and go up against okay, that's going to be a 96 Deco and Hydra combo for the side of Vroom here.
Yeah, that's a very, very interesting competition. We'll see if they can keep up with the speed of those Tetras and the Technicolor zap and shot. We're gonna see on this map. Hagglefish spot zones to start us off here on that.
Yes, indeed. This is become a bit of a staple for Splatoon 3, and we do see what Frostbite's been running with so far. As I said, the splatter shot and the end zap combo, but again, it's gonna be a double Booyah Bomb comp coming up from Vroom. We are seeing one of those in action as two of Frostbite go down, so the Booyah Bomb is just going to open up a lot of space for them to push forward and start taking ground, and that's really what you want to do when you have an E-leader on the other side.
Yeah, and Vroom, they have the control of the zone, but they're losing members. It's just going to be the Hydra left alive, but they've gotten some splats. Can they hold control of their zone with their machine? No, they won't be able to. Frostbite, they're able to get back in. Just Tacticular, and there goes the Tetras. They're going to go pressuring in. The Hydra is going to fall. Same with the machine. Great lockout position ready for Frostbite.
Okay, this is going to be where Vroom might struggle with it, because they have a lot of staying power with their comp, but being able to break back in, especially against the consistency that Frostbite has with their Tacticular and aggressive Tetra Dualies. They're going to have to take several members down before they can break back in. There's going to be a lot of resources spent just to break out.
Yeah, and with those jumps in of the quick respawning weapons, it's going to be very difficult. We're going to need this Hydra. They're going to go big, but they're being so pressured in one spot by the leader. And oh my goodness, the shot's gone around, flank around behind the Crab. Crab is going to be taken out by that reslider of the Tetras. Booyah Bomb is in onto the zone. It's just going to be the 96 cal last member alive on the side of Vroom. They're going to have to get some jumps in for their team, and they're going to get fierce a collateral from the E-leader. Sunga is going to be able to close out this game. What a shot. Thank you, Boeing, for that point of view swap over.
Wow, what a way to solidify that match. Is that either just ended the match right then and there. There was no shot Vroom was going to come back after a splat like that.
No, there's zero hope. You are done. Every member that you had that were alive, we were just taken out. It's a wipeout in the last 7 seconds. There's no chance that you can get back. Maybe if you have beacons, but they didn't have beacons. So that's going to end it off. Tower Control Inkbot is our next game here, I'm at. Do you think we're going to have major comp swaps?
For Frostbite? Nah. No, they haven't changed it yet. They're not going to do it so far. But Vroom, on the other hand, their combo that they had for Hagglefish Market Zones, I don't see the strat behind that, but it could definitely work a little bit better for Tower Control, I think. Especially the double Booyah Bomb just works so well for Tower Control.
Yeah, this is gonna be good. Hold up, before we start, we got to shout out we got a triple raid. Thank Glitch Cactus, thanks Kurta, and thank you Dapple. Hope everyone had a good time, and I know there's German qualifications that were happening today over on Dapple. So thanks everyone for joining us. We are here. I am Genie, and that is IMAD. We are here for SAC Qualifier 4. We are final qualifier before our regular season. Before our finals happens in 2 weeks.
That's right. This is for all the marbles here. We're in the top 16 right now, and several of these teams, they're fighting for their own skin right now, but a lot of teams just sit on the sidelines. Fingers crossed that some of these teams can make it to the top cut. One of them being Frostbite, who is in our current set. If they make it in the top 2, we know several teams are going to be able to be moving on up as well.
Yeah, Frostbite, if they win this next game, they will pretty well, and I think they will lock up their spot. They win this game, they've locked up their spot to go to top cut. Unless somehow numbers go crazy and Roundy flies quick. That's from the numbers I've been given. Win and you're in for Frostbite. Vroom, they want to continue on in SSC. You gotta start the comeback now.
Alright, we get to this next match. Frostbite here just showing me up, changing off to the Firefin Charger and the Vanilla Slosher from that comp that they had before. No Tetras whatsoever. They are really mixing up here.
Yeah, Tetras on this map are interesting. Tetra players can like it, and they also... It's a unique balance. With Slosher players, I find that they love this map. They got fast control, they got a good spot, good space, and utility usage. This is going to be Tower trying to find the first checkpoint on the side of Frostbite. They know that the gal is down on this low ground. Will they be able to take them out? It's looking dicey.
Yeah, they got 3 members of Frostbite just looking them down, and they are finally going to be taken down by X-Ray on that Slosher here. So Frostbite has another chance with this checkpoint, but with all of Vroom up on their flat, they're not making it easy for them to grab this checkpoint. It's going to take a couple of specials to get to push them out, but the Booyah Bomb is just really making it difficult for them.
Those are going to be tri-strikes out. 2 members of Vroom are gone. There's going to be Zap. Oh, down, that's the blaster. It's able to get 2 inside of its own bubble before being taken out. And that Zuka, it goes off huge. Oh, the 96 still jumps to the bubble. I don't think that the shot knows. They are going to get punished after getting a trade. My goodness, jumps in, the blaster taken out. What is happening?
Just absolute chaos right there, leaving just the Hydra on the defense with the rest of their members respawning. So this might be exactly Frostbite Beast to get up to hit this first checkpoint. Strikes are going to be coming out trying to push that Hydra back, and right now Frostbite has taken control of Vroom's plat here. Particularly, well, they did have control of Bats here, but I think Vroom has finally been able to push them out, which is keep them from getting that second checkpoint.
There's going to be more strikes coming out for Frostbite. This double strike comp is just so good here. It's able to take so much space away from Vroom, force the front line and the back line to be separated. But they haven't been able to capitalize on it to get deep towards that second checkpoint. Always getting slowed down by the blaster or the Hydra or the 96 gal. It's going to be a good snipe, and now here comes a Kraken for the side of Vroom. Again, shutting down this push before it can even get to the second checkpoint.
Vroom is certainly making it difficult for Frostbite here, but Frostbite has just been pushing and pushing and keeping it at it. Like, they have not let this tower reset to mid as of yet. Like, even though they haven't been able to really make too many points off of this, they haven't let Vroom get control of mid, but it looks like that's going to be changing here. Vroom is finally getting some points on the board and trying to push up, take some map control here. We do see a nice flat from the blaster here, but the 96 gets shut down before they can pop that Kraken.
Yeah, and here goes a Booyah Bomb out. The Trizuka has been used. It found some good usage and got a spot. That's going to be a bubble being shot out, which means the Zap's positioning is going to be noted. My goodness, great timing on being able to take out that big bubble.
It was some clean shots from the Charger on top of that. They are going to be chased down by the Kraken, but they are in a really good position to start making this push here. Once again, the Tri-Strikes are going to be coming out as the Kraken gets finished off. So now it's just the ends up on defense, and there is so much red. It's on Vroom's plat checkpoint.
Yeah, sorry about a little bit of a hiccup in our feed there, everybody. We are going to be pushing this tower through the second checkpoint for Frostbite. They've got a little bit of control of the plat, but Vroom is coming back. They are fighting hard. And this fight in Bats going inside of Frostbite tower, though, is now in the control of Vroom. They've got a Booyah Bomb here for the Hydra. Is the Hydra going to use it? They got to watch out for those strikes. They're going to be able to take out one, but they're going to be at least able to stay on the tower. More strikes coming out. Have to watch out for the Charger. Their team's able to punish it. Frostbite. 32 is a really good lead. Now they got to defend.
And it's just this Hydra able to survive 2 Tri-Strikes getting shot, thrown at them, and able to help the tower reset to mid. That was such a slippery play right there, but now they have a chance of taking on their own first checkpoint, and the rest of Vroom is trying to make some ground up onto the plat, but that's going to be 2 more members down, and the rest of them getting pushed back to mid, but the bucket's going to be cleaning them up there. Get down to 64 points, but with a minute left remaining, that's not really what you want to see.
Oh, here we go. Last minute of the game. Can Vroom find the space that they need? We can see that there's a little bit of a push going through with this bubbler on the lower side of our screen. And Frostbite know it. They have those strikes ready to go here, I'm at. Do you think Frostbite can be able to defend it with the specials that they've currently got in their pocket?
Oh, absolutely. Like, you got 20 seconds and you still a full checkpoint for Vroom to have to go through. Like, all you need is the one Tri-Strike user to be able to delay enough time for another member to get onto the tower, and with 2 members off of Vroom, or no, I'm sorry, that's 2 members of Frostbite down. Vroom is really putting on the aggression here, trying to keep them from being able to use those Tri-Strikes. It's just down to the blaster now, however, so with 3 seconds remaining, I think that's going to be game right there.
Yeah, no chance for Vroom to get back. They had a good look at the end, but couldn't capitalize on it. Frostbite, they were able to weather the storm, hold on, and with that win, they put themselves in top 8, guaranteeing themselves a wild card point and putting them ahead of anyone able to knock them out. So yeah, congratulations to Frostbite. They will, no matter what happens in the rest of this tournament, will be playing in 2 weeks for our finals.
Indeed, and I feel like with that last one, Vroom's as I said before, like Vroom's comp definitely suited them more for Conqueror, but just the aggression that Frostbite put out, even without the Tetra dualies, they were able to just put on so much pressure, so much aggression, that they kept the tower pretty much on Vroom's side of the map for the majority of that match. So they just kept pushing and pushing until they gained all the way down to 32 points. I feel like if it went into Rainmaker, like they would have seen another clean victory for Frostbite as we saw in that first match.
Yeah. And with that, IMAD, we are going to be waiting for our next match, which will be the winner of Healthy Diet Food Group Rabid and Loaded Diaper Crossfire. That match, round 3. The one that has no teams sitting in it currently. So we've got a little bit of time to wait. But, looking at the bottom side of the bracket, with Great Question moving on to play against Frostbite, that is big, because Great Question is currently sitting. They've earned themselves a point, which means that they now have 3 points, which puts them in that coveted 4th and final wild card spot. So every win for Great Question here on out helps their chances. And at any point in time, they've got to watch out, because they've jumped Rabid, and they want Rabid. They need Rabid to lose this game as well. So that's a matchup we've got to watch out for. Great Question versus Rabid. Whoever goes farther can get that last spot.
Indeed, and then again, they have quite the competition going out. Like we do see Rabid 1-up on Healthy Diet Food Groups, and no, Rabid just beat Healthy Diet Food Groups and will be moving on to round 3. They're just waiting on Loaded Diaper versus Qualifier, which is Loaded Diaper up 1-0. But we shall see which team comes out on top in the next round. We're going to be going to a short break, so stay tuned.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to SAC Season 7, Tournament number 4, Qualifier number 4. I'm Genie7, joined by IMAD. IMAD, I gotta say it, with our Rabid Loaded Diaper match going on right now, we've got a big wildcard race to discuss. Are you ready for this?
Oh, I'm so ready.
All right, here we go, everybody. Currently, how we are standing. Every team that is guaranteed a spot is Synergy, Loaded Diaper, In Control Red Sun, Wipeout Punks, Shiba Gang, and Velocity. Those are all the teams that have won their way in. Meaning that Loaded Diaper doesn't even need this win. Teams that need this win. Rabid. Rabid needs to win this because they need to get further than Great Question. If Rabid and Great Question both advance to the next round in top 4, they could push Decay out of our top 4 standings. Or,
Dang.
if they pass each other, they're either fighting each other or turning at Decay, who's not here to defend themselves. So if they work together on opposite sides of the bracket, they won't have to worry about each other.
Dang, so no pressure at all then.
Yep. So, if Loaded Diaper wants to play spoiler to Rabid, now is a great time to do it.
Indeed. And looking at our map lineup for this set, we're going to be jumping right into it. Is Clamplets on Makumart. What we're going to be seeing from these two teams, we see the usual block. Oh, a 96 carbon combo. Interesting. And then a Luna Blaster? What?
Luna Blaster? Oh my goodness, I haven't seen a Luna Blaster in ages. This is Clamplets.
Indeed, we're going to be seeing some of the usual lineup. Like, yeah, again, it's going to be the vanilla Luna Blaster up against a 96 carbon combo. And as you said, just Clamplets. That's going to be 2 members of Rabid down already. Loaded Diaper really moving up, and when you have a carbon roller moving up is definitely the move to be playing here.
Luna actually has a weird matchup with Carbon on this map. It's a little bit stronger because it can use its corners a lot better than the Carbon can. It doesn't have very good pain power at all, and doesn't deal with spawn armor. That'll do the fact that it's glorified form of Ink armor, so that's a big weakness of it. But you know what? That's okay. They've got a starting push, but as long as they don't get wiped out on the side of Rabid here, then that starting push will be a-okay.
And with the recent accuracy buff that we see from the last patch, the Luna can certainly camp ledges a lot better than it used to, especially with its jumping power. But already we're seeing Loaded Diaper moving back in almost immediately after that push here. Adapt trying to put some defense on the stack here and at least keep them off for the time being. Right now, Loaded Diaper does not have a power clam in possession other than that pity clam to be able to push this.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate thing. You gotta hit those shots around the walls to get that Carbon. The Carbon's gonna go in so well for Loaded Diaper. They are ready to go. They just don't have the In Control, nor do their teams have a good amount of clams. Now they've made a power clam, but they are all gone. They threw it into the basket, but at the cost of all of their lives.
Yeah, that's going to be 1 power clam, not enough for the lead either, and that's going to be a lot of map control going back to Rabid there. We see that Try and the Luna just having some fun over on the other side. Can the ledge to their hearts get in? Like, there is no dropping off that left side. Loaded Diaper is going to have to be able to break out if they want to make any push. And the Carbon getting a nice double off the Inkjet as well. They are putting on the aggression here.
Dang, and oh, I thought the Luna was going to be able to find the Inkjet, but they get dooted on by the exhaust. Oh no, not on stream.
You hate to see it. But even so, Rabid still has quite a bit of good map control for the defense, and Loaded Diaper wasn't able to open up the way to the basket just yet, and already Rabid is on the aggression here. They have a lot of clams, they just need to make the power clam. They do just that. They're just gotta watch out for the Kraken that's currently on the front door.
Oh, what is happening? This is the Carbon is going aggressively, has a Zuka ready, but there is no clams here for Loaded Diaper. They don't have the clams. They have 7, but it's attached to their Inkjet weapon. You can't really make a power, nor you can make a power, but like, are you gonna be able to throw it in? No. Is it gonna be taken out when they land here to Candy? Yes, they will. What a circus is happening here.
This has become less clams and more team deathmatch here. Just both teams are going at it, getting splat after splat, but no points have been on the board for the last minute and a half or so. We're already halfway through this match.
This song also just adds with the weird and wacky style, the new songs that they added. It adds to the clown fiesta.
Oh, absolutely. We do see Loded Diaper with a Power Clam in their possession. They really just need the one Power Clam to get the lead back. However, Rabid put in such an aggressive force here. Tri-Strike's coming out. Like, they have been able to get the map control they need to really secure possession of mid here. Adapt going off with that Zipcaster trying to find a pick, but that's going to be 3 members of Rabid down here. Just the ball point backing up.
Yeah, that's going to be not so good for Rabid. We have to note here, Ahmed, as we are in the lower half of the game with just over a minute remaining, great English shot, is that there's a Kraken push available at any time. Loded Diaper has a Power Climb and the 96 scale Kraken, which means that the push that Rabid has is not safe at all. Like, at all. One good Kraken push, it's over. And now they have 2 Power Climbs? It could be even worse. Here it goes.
They just gotta find one opening, but the Kraken is gonna be under their basket. Do we see the jumps coming in?
Candy stopped down all but one.
In.
Candy stopped all but one. That is huge from Candy. I know the lead is gone, but it could have been so much worse.
Yeah, that's just a 1 point difference here. All that Rabid needs is another Power Clam of their own to get that lead back, and they certainly have 2 in their possession.
There it goes. They're going to be jumping to where the Luna was sitting, directly up. Perfect. That's going to be a lead swap over. Loded Diaper, they have to get this 96 scale Kraken online, or their positioning just has to be good, strong enough, because they will have that guaranteed pity climb to their name.
No point.
There goes the 96.
Oh, that's going to be huge. And Carbon going down as well. That remains 2 members of Loded Diaper down, and the Rabid is just pushing up. We do see overtime coming out, but they don't have much time left, and there's so much purple on that half of the map. Like, they got to have a Hail Mary of a play to make this happen.
Yeah, and the Power Climb is being chased by Zipcaster. It has to jump to one of their teammates, and their only teammate is beside them. Yeah, I think this game is going to close itself out with overtime draining away. There's no chance for Loded Diaper to get to the basket, and Rabid, in my opinion, I think they stole the circus, they stole the show, and they take game 1 on Mako Mark Clan.
We didn't see any points made for the latter half of the match. Then both Loded Diaper and Rabid get a Power Clam push in within split seconds of each other. It was just the 1 point they needed to get that victory.
Yeah, my goodness, what a game. And Rabid, they need this. They need every game they can get. Update from the other side of the bracket. Frostbite is up 1-0 on Great Question. So that is, for Rabid, this is a dream scenario. They want to close this thing out on Umami zones as fast as they can, so they can make sure that they are in back SAC finals, because they were there last season, and with a win here, they would solidify themselves as making it there again.
Absolutely. If Rabid is able to get control of the zones and be able to get enough map control presence to be able to push forward, like with Umami Ruins, being able to push deep into enemy base is the key to being able to secure your victory. Like, if we did see a bit of a back and forth on the clans map there, but if momentum goes in Rabid's favor, like, they could definitely clean this out here.
Yeah, this is gonna be a unique match. I don't think we're gonna see the Luna Blaster again. If we're gonna see Luna Blaster again, it'll be Tower Control Eeltail. I wait for Tower Control Eeltail and like Mako to come in rotation, because those are the only rotations that you could possibly play Luna Blaster on, because its best game is Splatoon 1. May the servers come back soon, please.
Indeed. Honestly, I expect Adapt to go back to some sort of slosher. I know that's his bread and butter here, and certainly with zones, bringing out a Tri-Strike would be a huge asset for their team.
Yeah, that would be probably the best case scenario for them. Just the regular slosher, that swap bomb Tri-Strikes combo, it proves to be really good on pretty much every map mode.
No, absolutely. I'm trying to think, like, the Kraken though, that's a bit of a wild card pick for the side of Loded Diaper. Do you think we'll be seeing the return of that? I guess we're about to find out.
Yeah, we will. After its recent performances in the Area Cup the other day, I think we might see a little bit more 96 gal. And also, people are understanding it not just to farm Kraken. It's a pretty solid kit with its main weapon and sub.
That is true. Now it looks like we did see a swap of Adapt going to that Tri Nouveau here, and we do see a Neo Splash and then the Tetra Tool has come out here, so they are going to have those Tri-Strikes in their pocket, but both the Tri and the Tetras are going to be down, so it's going to let Loaded Diver take the first zone? No, I'm sorry, the second zone gap, but possibly get the lead off this.
Yeah, there goes Azuka out. Those big 60 hitboxes, not able to find any solid connection. And that, they pop their cooler, but absolutely get run down by the Carbon on the lower side of our screen. Carbon goes in, gets 2. Can they get 3? No, Candy's able to shut that one down. Zone control is still in the favor of Loaded Diver. Here goes the Reslider, is able to take out 1. All point gone. 96 cal is still dancing around zone, but they need to defend it because the rest of Rabid are here and are fighting. They have now tapped those zones.
Yeah, see, this is the position that Rabid wants to be in. If they're able to push up a little further, get a depth underneath one of those ledges, like, it's going to be so difficult for Loaded Diver to be able to push back in. Like, they got to expend a lot of the special just to get out of spawn here. We see Adapt getting a nice pick off the side here. They are going to be called out by the Ancient, but the Ancient getting distracted like that, that's going to buy so much time for them. With 3 members down, oh, that's going to be a lot of purple pings on their map.
Yeah, at least the Kraken's able to find Candy and take them out. Here goes Kraken trying to find some more. Will it be able to find a depth on the Tri-Slash? They will. Massive Kraken out of the 96. This is going to be good for Aaron. The Jet is able to get, I believe it got 2 there. Counter Jet coming out from Loaded Diver. Can Aces find anything? No, they're going to get wiped off this map. And this is a wipe of Loaded Diver. They are getting pushed back. Rabid, they can smell the top cut. They can smell the playoffs.
Yeah, that's going to be their second failed push into mid there with Rabid in control of zone for so much time. Like, they're definitely going to be able to get the KO off. Just, oh, it's out of time for Loaded Diaper. That's going to be 2-0 for Rabid, moving on to the next set.
Yeah, and with that, I can confidently say, Rabid, they have locked up their spot. They will be moving on. They have clinched their way into our playoffs in 2 weeks. We don't have 5 qualifiers, we have 4. We have 5 tournaments, though. But my goodness, you know what? Whoever was the person that picked out back-to-back games to see teams clinch, I don't know. Oh, cool guy that guy must be.
Dude, like, these teams, like, they're not... They don't want to entertain us. They just want to move on and get their prize and go. They're not going to be seeing a game 3 for quite a while, it seems like.
Nope. No, they want to get done. They want to move on. But with that, I know our next match will be the winner of Frostbite, Great Question, versus Sweet Tooth. Sweet Tooth have been waiting for like 40 minutes because they went fast. Their matches went fast against Kings, Back, and Velocity, and the other match on the other side of the bracket that they had a bye. So they are cold right now.
Yeah, talking about 2-0, like, they took a 2-0 and then some.
Yeah, they are on one. So I hope that they haven't cooled off too much, but you know, we will see. We will see. But with that, I think we are going to take a little bit of a break. Make sure everyone to follow the bracket. Rabid is qualified, Frostbite is qualified, and everyone else who is still currently alive needs to win some more games before they can qualify for our tournament in 2 weeks, our finals. With that, we'll see you on the other side of the break.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. We are now in our top 4 of SAC Week 4. It is I'm Matt Gamer II, and joined once again by Genie.
Oh my goodness, I'm at Sweet Tooth, Frostbite. This set will be good. Sweet Tooth, they are not home free yet. If they want to make it to our finals in 2 weeks, they need this. They don't need this set. But if they don't win this one, they have to win our 3rd place match to get that final slot. Because Frostbite will then qualify not off of wildcard points, but because they came top 2. Any team that's in the wildcard race will be removed from the wildcard race if they make top 2. So that's what a lot of teams are hoping for the Rabid and the Frostbites. Sweet Tooth, though. They have been cold. They have been sitting off of a 3-2-0s in a row, I'm at. Do you think that they can come out against Frostbite's tear that they've been on?
Oh, that's a tough one. Like, as you said, like just the cooldown factor can really come into effect here. But with how much of a run that Sweet Tooth has had, like they've just been on the move so far. Going up against a team like Frostbite, like, I'm not sure what to expect from this match.
This will be one for the books for sure. Here we go. Rainmaker on Museum de Alfonsino. Here we go.
Oh, we got a bit of an Octobrush and the Wiper Deco coming out from Sweet Tooth here. An odd combination, but I could definitely see it come into play here for Museum Rainmaker. But we still see Frostbite in their usual lineup with the Tetras and the Catacooler. But the Tetras and the Splash Shot going down pretty early there. That's going to kill a lot of their early momentum here. RCV Junkie coming in for them, trying to put pressure on that ramp, which is one of the safer routes to go with that Rainmaker.
Rainmaker's going to be starting those events. I gotta watch out for the Suction Bomb. Oh my goodness, Junkie's able to survive that one just in time. Catacooler is out inkjet defensively for Frostbite. Zuka as well, I'm pretty sure that I saw there. And yes, those are the Zuka shots that able to find the ends up who was holding on to that Rainmaker. Great job from the shot. They're going to try and find the spots onto the Rainmaker, and they will. Wiper is standing behind it, trying to get this Rainmaker with their teammate up to the pedestal. They're going to be able to get it up there, but not quite down and dunk it. They're going to be finding another splat. They got to watch out because the Tetras are behind them. Will they be able to find a triple? They're going to back off so their team can jump back in. Have to watch out. They got these missiles ready for those. Here comes that Reef Slider. Oh my goodness. Not able to find any splats. What is happening here in the first minute there? I'm at.
Keto is just dancing around that spinner there, keeping Frostbite on their toes. Like Frostbite was finally able to pick up the Rainmaker and get it off their plat, but Sweet Tooth just held it for so long. Oh, that is going to be a nice jet coming out, taking down both the the Octobrush and the Wiper. So now they have an opening to make a push of their own, but it's going to wait out that other Inkjet.
Yeah, the other Inkjet stalled for long enough, even though they're the last one alive, to get the teammates of Sweet Tooth back and ready to go. Ballpoint is going to drop down. They're going to fall. Same with the Brush. The Stamper and the Zapper, the last 2 remaining. They've got those missiles ready to go. Will they launch them to try and shut down spinning control? Not going to be in time because that Rainmaker will find itself onto the pedestal.
Yeah, it's going to be Frostbite taking the lead there and the checkpoints, but the missile and Brush combo is going to take down 2 and then a 3rd as well. So just the ends up remaining with that Tacticooler. They're going to be backing up to their flat, and now Sweet Tooth is going to be eyeing their own checkpoint here with Junkie going up on the spinner, just getting so much high ground.
Oh, again! Sweet Tooth, they just cannot find this first checkpoint. They've gotten to this spot so many times. Will this be the opportunity? No, again! Shut down by one little glove of that Zuka shot. Can they possibly stall it again? Is it the 5th time in a row for Sweet Tooth that they just can't get this checkpoint?
It's gotta be. Like, they are just not having any luck on that checkpoint. They're like, Frostbite's just been on point with not only the Zuka shot, but just the bombs and just whatever else they've been throwing over that spinner. Like, no matter how aggressive Sweet Tooth gets, it's just one little thing to stop them from getting the checkpoint.
Yeah, Junkie able to go in huge there. They get one spot onto the Rainmaker and camp that landing with a Suction Bomb. Big splats from them. It's going to be Daybreak using their jet. Can they find 2 members of Frostbite? No, they won't be. And the Reef Slider is going to come for the landing, but not able to take them out originally. But the trade will come through. I think that's a trade you'll take any day of the week when you're being camped on an Inkjet landing.
Oh, absolutely. And that's going to be a bit of a reset. I know we see a lot of purple paint out there on the map. Frostbite, just a lot of map control, but Sweet Tooth, they're juiced up and they're hungry for some more meat here. We're down to a minute and a half here. Zipcaster coming out as well as the missiles. Is this finally the chance that Sweet Tooth is going to be able to get that checkpoint? But no, they get shut down once again.
Wait, no, they got it. They got it this time. Now all they need to do is pop this thing, but it's going to be dangerous because they just don't have the players. The Rainmaker's going to be grabbed by a Reborn, and Rip's going to drop it down. Massive play for them with just over a minute remaining. Frostbite, stay alive. But Junkie, again, the chaos of the brush is being just a little bit too much.
Junkie just going absolutely everywhere, being a mess here. We still see quite a bit of map control for Frostbite, but with Sweet Tooth getting the pop there and a lot of pressure on their plat, like they just got to get a couple points to take this lead back, and they got so many specials from Frostbite coming out. They got to be able to survive this, but if they're able to get past that checkpoint, they could get this lead back in the last 40 seconds here, but it's so tight right now.
Oh my goodness, can the Wiper find the spots that they need? They need their teammates to jump back in. They will be able to have their teammates here. Jumps are going to be camped though now. I don't think that Ray knew about them. No, Ray didn't. So they're back. Both members of Sweet Tooth are there, staying alive. My goodness, I'm at this final 30 seconds, and 1 point is the difference between the leads.
I think Sweet Tooth is the last one to pick up the Rainmaker, so even if like Frostbite just gotta pick it up and back it up to keep this victory, so Sweet Tooth has to be able to pick it up here if they want to bring this back, but there's just a lot of bombs on that spinner right now.
That's one jet on, but the Zuka is going to be the dying hope here for Frostbite. Here goes a reslider. It's going to be on top of the Rainmaker. What a absolute slide. That slide was perfectly timed down the ramp and down on to the Rainmaker. Frostbite, they take game win in style.
That was such a good play. Like, they had the Zuka coming out, just pushing the Rainmaker off to that side that they wanted them to go, and then the restarter coming down and just absolutely splatting the heck out of them. That's going to be a nice GG for Frostbite, but even so, it was a point difference. Like, if Sweet Tooth had been had one more chance, they probably could have been able to push through that, but it just came down to the wire there. Holy moly.
My goodness, yeah, Frostbite. X-Ray went super mode and super swim on the Reef Slider. Was able to take it out perfectly timed. I just wasn't thinking that Reef Slider would be the GG special. I was looking more at Zuka. 3 shots, what you got. Try and shut down the Rainmaker before it gets to the checkpoint, because like that's all they had to go past. Sweet Tooth didn't have to go far, but we saw how many times they got stuck on that checkpoint. If they had have been able to do it like one time earlier, they definitely would have been able to have that game. But you can't dwell on the past, you gotta look to the future. And the future says Climb Blitz, Scorch.
Oh, absolutely. And there's no checkpoints holding the back here. We do see a very similar terrain. You got the one path up that ramp side there, plus the more treacherous grates there, but with what we've seen, well, actually, no, both these teams have been running that ballpoint once again, can traverse the grates pretty easily, but still, that's going to be the main focus, is that main path up to the basket, so probably going to see a lot more Trizuka shots. I'm just going to say that right now.
Yeah. It's a lot of Hail Marys over to the giant graded pole. And over to snipe. That's usually where Zukas like to find themselves. And with how much damage they can do now, opposed to them being just 40 hitboxes, which is a line marker, they're burst bomb directs. You're getting directed by a burst bomb every time those things hit you. It's a little bit crazy at the moment out here in the Splatlands. Yeah,
that's right. There's really no safe spot for that ballpoint to set up anymore. Like, if you see the Zuka online, you're like, oh dear, I gotta move.
Yeah, well, there's no safe spot. It feels like Splatoon 1, which is kind of nice. You don't feel like you're just being camped out all the time. You have to be mobile, stay active, and yeah. Surprisingly, backlines were the strongest in Splatoon 1, but that's because of damage up. I'm looking at you later.
True, very true. Still, both these teams have been rocking the juice in this last one, but the Octopi Wiper combo. That's the main thing. Like, they could definitely work incredibly well for clans, but with how open it is, do you think they'll be sticking with that combo?
I definitely think that the brush will still be here. It's how like if it's gonna be the 10 missiles wiper or the regular wiper, I'm not 1,000% sure. I do know that there are 5 people on the roster, so I don't know if there's gonna be any substitutions. I know Woomy might be able to say if there's been anyone come in or out. I don't believe there would be. So I think they showed a good way. Sweet Tooth showed a strong plays in the neutral game. Last map on Museum, which also has that giant kind of pit-like mid area with one little hiding area in the center of it. So I don't think it would be too far-fetched for them to be able to stay that calm.
I'd say so far, like, no one's been able to really contest against Frostbite's aggression, except for Sweet Tooth. Like, Sweet Tooth has been countering their aggression with so much aggression of their own that they've been pretty evenly matched. But it does look like we're going to be seeing the return of the Wiper and the Brush, but we're seeing a Nautilus added to the fray.
Yeah, Nautilus on this map is, I'm going to say, unique at best. It's definitely not the spotling of my choice, or is it the spotling of your choice on this map?
Definitely not.
Yeah, it's a unique choice, especially swapping off from that ball point. But we'll see if Sweet Tooth can make it work.
I mean, as we were saying before, like, with the Zuka in play, like, there isn't really a safe spot for a ball point to be, and I feel like that might be partially why they swapped to them. They have a little bit more mobility and then a little bit different positioning when you're playing the Nautilus game, but that's going to be 2 members off of Sweet Tooth down, and with the Power Clam and Frostbite possession, that might be the... Oh, nope, never mind. Nautilus say, nope, you don't get to open the basket right now.
No, yeah, Nautilus showing off why they are going to be playing. That's one thing you got to watch out for. Those luxury mobs need to come out top mid to shut down the opposing ball point on Frostbite, because if they could just sit up here, be free all the time, that would be a dangerous spot. Frostbite, they're being pushed so far back. Rain Cloud, missiles, Tri-Strikes are out. Power Climb is now in for Sweet Tooth. Tactical is out defensively, but is it going to be in time? No, members are already falling on the side of Frostbite. They have to go. They have to be able to defend this. Inkjet's out as well. More members of Sweet Tooth. They're throwing clams in. Zuka's out, able to find some shots down and get some splats. The Brush will be camped under their landing, and now it's just going to be the Wiper. Wherever they are jumping into, they cut, because they probably got some beacons hiding around.
Oh, absolutely, but man, that was such a well-executed Rain Cloud. Like, not only did it cover the mid portion, but it went all the way to the snipe. Like, the ball point had to back up so far that by the time the other specials came out, they were already out of position. It was just a free basket open for Sweet Tooth. 41 for their first push is not bad at all, and they are coming back already so aggressive, with so much paint on the ground for them.
Yeah, here goes an Inkjet aggressively for Frostbite. Both spotlings are going to be down. Tri-Strikes out for Sweet Tooth, pushing the members of Frostbite back just a little bit more. We're going to have Rays, X-Rays, Zipcaster going out. They're able to find one. We'll be able to find some more. They're going to be zipping back to their landing spot. 2 are gone on the side of Sweet Tooth. Here goes Junkie from top mid, and they got absolutely 180'd by the shots. Zuka, my goodness, here goes their push.
A point blank Zuka to the face, and they are back at the spawn. They do get the basket open, but Sweet Tooth is already back in the defensive. This Rain Cloud comes out, shutting down that avenue, so they're not going to be able to have any follow-up to that. And Sweet Tooth, once again, has just so much map control to follow up with.
My goodness, there goes those missiles. Sweet Tooth, they have gotten all that control that you were just mentioning about X-Ray. They try and drop in. They're able to find a trade. Zuka is now down for Frostbite, not able to find anything. It does push the members of Sweet Tooth back into the lower left position, right in position, so the Inkjet, their teammate's Inkjet, will be able to pressure. Here we go, I don't know if Frostbite can come up with a good solid push with how they've been playing so far.
Yeah, like, not only they don't really have any clams at the moment to get that lead back with the game, but as you said, they just haven't been able to get that solid push to go up against what Sweet Tooth can bring to the table. Like, already Sweet Tooth is back on the front door of Frostbite, trying to get an opening going. Junkie's going in, getting a pick with the missiles following it up. Like, they do get the basket open. That's going to leave them... Well, actually, no, now it's a 1v1 with the Wiper and the ends up. The Wiper's going to be able to get 2 more clams before getting taken down.
Yeah, just a penalty taken pretty well down to 3. I thought it was going to be taken out, but not quite. Sweet Tooth, they would like to get a bigger lead next time they push, so that will definitely open the door, because they've softened that penalty. Frostbite, they gotta go now, but they've lost a member of they've lost 2. This is not looking good for them at all.
That's just going to be the ends up remain. They do pop their cooler, and they're going to be the last one defending, but they have some jumps coming in. That touch cooler ready to hit them out when they do land. Ooh, a nice bomb throw. Getting the Wiper down, or the Ink down, it's going to be huge. That was one of their main aggressors for their pushes so far, but losing their Tetras and their shot in the process. Like, they don't have any power to push back in. They're going to be forced to jump out once again, and there's just so many specials opening up to the basket.
And there's more clams here from Sweet Tooth. With 40 seconds on the clock, there's going to be a power that's going to be taken out. Brush can't get it in, but there is a Wiper who's sitting right below it, but they have been called out. Great checking their corners on the side of Reborn. That is exactly what they need. They got to check their corners as well, because Junkie's above them on top mid. They're probably going to drop on them. No, gonna retreat. Just under 30 seconds to go. Frostbite, they have to find a good push here.
Oh, that 2 power combos. That's going to be 2 members of Sweet Tooth down. Like, the Wiper and the Flash are trying to defend them. Like, Tri-Star's going to be coming out, but like, if Frostbite is able to get those 2 power combos, they're going to be well on their way to getting the lead back. But that's going to be a wipeout off of Frostbite. With 3 seconds remaining in the basket about to close, I think that's going to be a victory for Sweet Tooth here.
Yeah, it will have to be because the basket has closed, the power climb has disappeared, and Sweet Tooth, they keep their easy dream alive. They win this next game, they will punch their ticket to our finals in 2 weeks. Couldn't have asked for a better time to have it. A game 3.
Indeed, like it seemed like they just needed the one match to warm back up after their stay, but even that was so incredibly close. It was just, like, once again just the one pedestal that was keeping them from being able to get the victory on that last one.
Yeah, it's gonna. We'll see. It was a really good game from Sweet Tooth. They showed their control of it, but you're right. It was close. Frostbite made it look entertaining, and honestly, Sweet Tooth made me eat my words with the Nautilus pick. It did work out for them, and I'm at a map that Nautilus has always found very enjoyable is Inkling. So I think they're going to be rocking out with a lot more momentum than Frostbite will.
Oh, absolutely. And honestly, I'm curious to see whether they decide to stick with that Nautilus pick or go back to Bulba, because honestly, either way could work, because the Nautilus played a lot of support in that last one, just helping out their Brush and their Wiper, because the Brush and the Wiper just did so much work for the majority of that last match.
I'm looking at the bracket right now, and so far, Rabid is up 1-0 on Grimace Shakers. That's pretty good start there for Rabid. They right now are just kind of, they're gonna toy with Grimace Shakers. Grimace Shakers need their win on that side. Rabid, they're already in, they're already ready to go. So we'll keep you updated on that after our next game. Inkblot though, this is nerve-wracking for both teams. Both teams want it. Both teams, one team needs it more than the other, but you don't want to qualify off of wildcard points. You want to qualify off of winning a tournament, and that's what Frostbite's here to do.
Indeed. Looks like we are going to be seeing that Nautilus making a return here, and X-Ray still sticking with the Tetra Dualies, and an E-Leader coming out.
E-Leader against Missiles and Brush. You're going to have some confidence there to pick an E-Leader here on this map against that comp. But you know what? I'm here for it, Frostbite. I'm here for it.
We already see Keto and Junkie just find that flash already. The E-Leader's going to be backing up pretty early on, and they lose their ends up in their Tetra, with Sweet Tooth getting the first cap of the zone. But that Nautilus does not sight both the Zuka and the E-Leader, staring them down. We'll see if they're able to get that pick off of them.
Yeah, Sungro, they just aren't being able to give the sightlines. We see members of Sweet Tooth all just dancing around. You know, there's Zipcaster above them, so they gotta watch out, because Junkie's gonna be there, and that's exactly where they come from. They came all the way over the top, so the E-Leader had no really good opportunity to spot them. There's gonna be the last line of defense for Frostbite. Now the Plat is all in control of Sweet Tooth. This is devastating for Frostbite.
Yeah, Junkie's been such a menace already as it is, but with Inkblot Art Academy being a Zipcaster's playground, they're going to have to be extra on their toes, especially when they see it online. But we're already down to 30 points, and Sweet Tooth has not seeded this zone to Frostbite at all. They're down with their Tetras are down. They have a Wafer Grab. They take down 2 members of Sweet Tooth, but they have 10 points remaining. They have to fight this out, but that's going to be a wipeout, allow them to flip the zone.
Oh my goodness, they needed that so bad. Sweet Tooth, that was massive from them. Now they have an opportunity to farm up some missiles to get that E-Leader off the high ground and find out where the rest of the members of Frostbite are hiding. You just don't want to peek this E-Leader.
No. Like, if the E-Leader is watching it, they are most likely going to be taken down, but that's going to be the strikes coming out, and a Brush just chased them down. They were forced to jump out, so that's going to be their opportunity to get the zone flipped back, and with the Tetris going down, that's going to just solidify for them.
Great job from Sweet Tooth. They did not give Sungura an opportunity to hit a shot, because there was just no one that played in their sightlines or their range. So they played that phenomenally and got their specials online, forced them out of position. Here we go now push for Frostbite. They want to get back in the zone as fast as possible, but they're going to be a trade scenario down on the lower left side of your screen, and Junkie's just trying to trade with the shot. No, they're gonna be able to get it for free. Daybreak does fall. Gotta watch out for the auto bomb and those E-liter shots. Lots of chaos going down on his own. And here goes our reslider. Oh, but it gets shut down before it can go anywhere. Junkie's gonna be trying going for the E-liter again. Samgura has to jump out to stay alive, and that's what they will be doing.
Man, that's going to be a 3 down off of Frostbite. Once again, just the either remain. They do have the Waybreak online, but he is not going to be able to do a whole lot just on the road. They have to wait for the rest of their team to respawn to make that push. Right now, Sweet Tooth has so much map control. It's going to be dangerous for Frostbite to drop down, especially with the rush to shark in who knows where. Already that tension's going to be sent back to spawn. We're getting down to KO territory.
This is KO territory. This Zuka has to go big. It finds nothing. Oh, it finds one. It does find Junkie. Kaido has to find a spot. That's 2 gone for free. Massive for Frostbite. They got to go in. They've lost X-Ray. They've got a shot down. That's good. Just Daybreak lost alive. Can Daybreak hold this out for their team? Will the jumps be coming through? The Nautilus is fine, but there is a beacon on the side. Junkie is here. Kaido is here. The members of Sweet Tooth are back. The Reslider's out. It has to find a lot of splats. Got to neutralize his own. It's able to get some. It's able to get some fights. Sweet Tooth again. Just Daybreak. Daybreak not able to find it. They're able to get some splats, but just in time. Frostbite, they get that zone.
Ooh, they're going to be sweating after that one. That's going to give Frostbite a little bit more time. 51 penalty off of that. Sweet Tooth's going to have to fight their way back, but as we're getting down to the last minute, time is on their side. They just got to flip that zone back to add a little more penalty for Frostbite, but that's going to be Junkie taken down there. That's going to be their Mani-Breaster taken down, and they have yet to flip the zone with that special.
No, and Rain Cloud is going to be used a little bit further back than zone. It's not going to be fully covering the zone. Now it's starting to do some good damage. X-Ray's down on the lower right side of our screen trying to do some damage. Kaido gets taken out. X-Ray's gone as well. Sweet Tooth have been able to flip the zone, but Daybreak is gone. Junkie's going to have to back off, but they get taken out by the E-liter. And oh my goodness, Agura just gets 3 snipes back to back to back. They don't miss right now.
That's going to be absolutely huge. Like, it's going to buy them so much more time to get through this penalty and start getting some points. Like, they have time to take this lead back if they can keep Sweet Tooth out in that amount of time. They have quite a bit of map control here. They just going to watch out for Junkie.
Oh my goodness! Daybreak, you can't peek those angles like that. You know it's an E-liter. This is crazy territory now. The members of the Sweet Tooth, they gotta run back in the zone. They're trying to. Junkie's here. The zone is gonna be capped over. Sweet Tooth, they got one last chance here, Ahmed. You cannot peek this E-liter.
No, they cannot. Like, all their tools to push this E-liter out are gone now. Like, they have to just go down the mechanical kill, but the E-liter's gonna say no. That's gonna be 3 down. Lead goes to Frostbite here. 2 points, and that's gonna be KO in the last 2 seconds. Frostbite taking it 2-1.
My goodness, what a game did we just watch? I thought that Sweet Tooth had that game. They had locked it up for so long, got it down so low, and almost knocked out Frostbite again with just taking that penalty down, just down to 5, or the points all the way down to 5. But somehow, some way, Frostbite able to lock themselves up, get that control, and hold it. After Segura with that crazy triple, those 3 snipes when the members of Sweet Tooth were trying to leave. I'm pretty sure that was the respawn punisher, which kept those respawns on extra long. So, my goodness. And with that, Frostbite, they will be making it into our top 2, which means that they have automatically qualified into our finals. Even though they had it on wildcard spots, their wildcard slot is now available to be taken. They are no longer part of our wildcard race.
Yes, indeed. And man, like, Daybreak almost winning the 1v3 for that zone there. Like, they had stalled enough for their teammates to get back, but it just, if they had won that engagement, that would have been the KO right there and then. But as you said, just the 3 shots that the E-liter had was what turned that tie. Like, it just killed whatever momentum that they had for the beginning half of that game. Just turned it so around for Frostbite.
And yeah, Sweet Tooth, they are not done. They will need the 3 points though. If they want to move on, because Frostbite gave up their slot, they will need to beat Grimace Shakers. That honestly, I'm gonna be straight up honest with you, everybody. Rabid versus Frostbite is for the winner of the tournament. 3rd place matches for who makes it into the next, who joins them into finals. The winner of that 3rd place match is very important. The most important 3rd place match you will ever see.
Yeah, you don't want to dip out on this one. This one's going to be for all the marbles here, but GG's to Rabid and Frostbite for making it, and good luck for this 1st place slot here.
But with that, we are going to go to a quick break so we can get the lobby all set up and get ready. With that, do not go anywhere. We have a banger final match for Tournament 4 coming up after this break. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Qualifier 4 for Season 7 of SAC. Season 7 updates on the standings. We have Rabid versus Frostbite for Grand Finals, but the more important thing in Grand Season totals, we're going to want to get this out of the way, if Bowen can pull up the standings. Sanctuary have qualified in our final spot. They are going to be joining Synergy, Loaded Diaper, In Control Red Sun, Wipeout Punks, Shiba Gang, Velocity, Rabid, and Frostbite in finals. Those are our teams. The other teams that will qualify in our wildcard slots, mentioned Sanctuary, Decay will have a slot, and with the fact that Rabid and Frostbite both qualified on moving on, not using wildcard slots, means that Great Question, with their 3 points, will make it to top cut to finals in 2 weeks. The final placed team that will make it into our top finals in 2 weeks is going to be the winner of our third place match, Sweet Tooth Grimace Shakers. All right, everybody got that? We'll have a Twitter post about it, or you can find it in the IPL server. We'll have it there ready for you when this tournament is over. But third place match actually matters. But we're not here to focus on third place match, Imad. We're here to focus on which 2 teams.
Rabid and Frostbite, and it does seem such a shame that we're going to miss out in the third place, but we can't deny the people the grand final who's going to be the winner of this week of SAC. So it's going to be a best of 5 counter pick set for a grand final, starting off with Hecklefish Zones.
Yeah, Hecklefish Zones. Always a map you got to start grand finals on. That's why I put it here.
Oh, of course. Yep. And we know that TC
was going to be Umami.
Show up at some point.
It was going to be Umami. I said, no, we're starting grand with Hagglefish.
Oh man, we're going to be seeing Frostbite here with his usual lineup, E-Leader and the N-Zap Tetra combo, and Rabid with the usual. Oh, we're going to see a Tetra versus Tetra fight for the first time this tournament.
Yeah, honestly, it's going to be the restarter Tetras, especially on this map with how the zones are. Not the best ideas for Zipcasters. Candy, they're the ones who's able to come up on top first, but are going to get shut down by Sungura, who's going to have to fall back.
That's right. You don't need to beat the other Tetras if you get an E-Leader in your pocket, but that's going to be the other thing. Having a ballpoint versus either for the backlight combo. The ballpoint having that A-Jet, that the either definitely have to watch out for when that gets popped, but right now, Frostbite is the one going to be coming out on top of the zone here.
Yeah, and there goes the zone. It's going to be under control for Frostbite. The members of Rabid are just kind of scattered, especially Adept, who's down in the lower trenches, is definitely going to get punished. They can't find anyone to take down with
That's going to be Lee, swap it over to Frostbite, and right now they're getting so much back control right now. Rapid's attempted to break out. Tetra's going in, trying to cause some havoc over the left side here. X-Ray gonna have to jump out here, but the Zuka trying to find a pick, but doesn't necessarily do. And even the Tetra's jumping out gets picked off.
That's gonna be some girl play. Able to find a second spot. Have to watch out because the Tetras are here. Candy's ready to go. They are gonna be able to find a spot. Reborn's behind. I think they're gonna be able to try and camp these jumps, but the ballpoint a little bit too quick. Nope, it is gonna get taken down, and Adapt is caught between the zone and 3 members of Frostbite.
And that's gonna add a little bit of penalty to Rabid, and Frostbite chewing through their own. Do you see the Zuka online, but the strikes are gonna be coming out for Rapid soon enough. Oh, but no, X-Ray trying to cause some havoc there, but it does get shaken down as Zuka gets popped.
Yeah, Rabid, they're going to want to try and come back in. X-Ray's here, ready to go, has that restarter. There is going to be 2 members of Rabid that are gone to Frostbite. They're doing phenomenal in this game. They're able to hold down this control. With one more good special hold, I feel like they can do it.
And he's going to have to survive the Booyah Bomb, and Candy coming in with a reslider. Oh, but the return reslider is going to keep the zone in their flavor for now. And now they're going to be just chasing down Adapt, getting a nice trade there, but they are juiced up, so they will be back soon enough.
Yeah, they got to paint the zone if you're Rabid, and they're going to be able to try and do that as best as they can. Sweet's got that splash with paint so darn well. Candy's through the zone, able to take out 1 before going down. Adept gets another spot. Can they find Reborn? And Sangura, they're going to try their best. They're going to try and go through, but they play smart and they play back. Candy's going to jump in here. They've got Tetras though, so they're going to try and take someone that's down with them.
Now they're going to be shut down by the splatter shot, so it's going to be 2 members of Rapid respawning, and a nice pick from the Zuka as well. It's going to shut down their ballpoint. They do have a bit of a penalty to go through, but right now they are pushing up with so much map control.
Yes, this is good for Frostbite. They've got that control. They've got a wave breaker. If they can hold on just a little bit longer, this will be the game for them. There goes the restarter with the tri-strike coming out. That's going to be a zone flip over and a Booyah Bomb thrown in on top. Rabid, they are not messing around. They want to play this game a little bit longer.
Yeah, the ends up and the Tetras are going to be going down with the other remaining member having to jump out here. Inkling trying to find that Elixir, but not quite able to. Rabid finally able to gain some ground for the first time in a while of this match. They are through their penalty points and down to 50 of their own, but a restarter is going to come out to flip the zone back once again. Frostbite is not giving them a chance to get any more points.
No, not at all. This is a good spot again for Frostbite. They've got the positioning, and they've got some spots coming down into their name, but they do not have the control of the zone now. That X-Ray kind of went around on a little bit of an adventure. They are probably going to take it out by this Inkjet. Yes, well, the splash, the towers.
Definitely have. We got some chip damage going in there, but Squeeze just trying to clean up here. We're seeing some yellow finally once again going out for Rabid here. They're trying to get some gain of some ground, but Frostbite just every time that Rabid takes some, Frostbite takes it right back. But with 2 members down, the E-Leader and the Enzap, that might give Rabid an opportunity to start keeping some of the ground they take. The Reslider are attempting to take the zone back. They are able to survive, but not able to get the zone.
The bomb's out. We've got little time. No penalty applied. Rabid, they can walk away this game. The Frostbite, they got to run in here. They will. They will get that critical flip because Rabid was dangerously close to taking the lead.
Yes, and with 30 seconds remaining, they did lose 2 of their members in the process. So right now, Frostbite with the map control and the man advantage, they are in a prime position to keep this. And the 2 members down. Was that with the same Zuka?
Yeah, same Zuka shot. Just that hitbox, 60 hitbox was just too good, too big. Frostbite, this is their time. They gotta hold on. The SWAT doesn't realize that they didn't need to put their controller down. I think they put it down a little bit too early. No, they didn't. They were able to close out the game with the knockout. Oh, that got risky. The game was not over.
I didn't think that they had the tri-strikes had enough time to come out, but they were able to stall it for just a split second. But thankfully, Frostbite was able to cap it off again for the KO victory in taking this first match. So now, Rabid has a chance to select the counter pick map.
Yeah, counter pick time. Here we go. I really don't know what Rabid's gonna pick. They could I don't even know if they want to go to tower control. I don't know if they want to go to zones. Maybe Rimmer, maybe Clamblets. I have an idea because compositions aren't that close. So it's really easy to be like, oh, you know what? Don't have to stall. Don't have to do anything else. Boom, Rainmaker Manta. We talk about that right away, Ahmed.
Yes, indeed. Like, I feel like with how that last match went, zone is not in Rabid's favor, unless it was a very Hagglefish specific thing. Like, it seemed like they just struggled to hold on to zone long enough to get those points before. Like, once Frostbite had control, like, they kept control for so long. But I feel like Rainmaker Manta, with the playstyle that both the teams have been running, just the go, 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 just push for all that momentum. Like, I think this is definitely going to be in Rabid's wheelhouse.
Yeah. We will see. I'm just getting an update to make sure. Yeah, so I didn't realize that. I didn't actually realize, but Sweet Tooth and Decay are the same team.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, then.
Yeah.
That puts a spin on things.
That definitely puts a spin on things. And you know what else puts a spin on things? Grimace Shaker's dropped.
Say
so they don't
what?
they won't get 4th place points.
Dang. That is unfortunate.
Bro. I think Thembo just qualified. I think
What
Thembo
even?
just qualified. I told them they were done. We told them they were done like an hour ago.
It's like psych.
Yo, psych. Yeah, because they Grimace Shakers drop, so they don't get the 4th place points.
Dang.
If Grimace Shakers had played the game, they would have been playing the next tournament. You know what, people? Play the damn video game.
It ain't over till it's over, man.
It's not over till it's over. Like, not over till it's over. So yeah, thanks. For everyone to update me on that. 'Cause, like, how was I supposed to tell that? I know the players look the same, but like, I didn't know if they qualify as different teams enough. You know what? Here we go. Game 2 of actual grands.
Rainmaker Manta Maria, Rabid versus Frostbite. Frostbite currently up 1-0. Is this Rabid's chance to take it back, or will Frostbite be up 2-0? We'll have to see.
We will see. We have the regular Wiper coming out this time for Candy. That's Candy's been just going all over with these short range weapons. It's gonna be Segura though, cleaning up the Rainmaker and cleaning up Candy as well. It's just gonna be opposing number for ballpoint Aaron, who's on this low ground, gonna be able to try and find this Rainmaker pop, and they will.
And we do see Adapt swap it over to that Tri-Nouveau, bringing the juice with the Tri-Slosher instead of the Incept here, but still having a Splash and the Wiper in their back pocket as well. But right now, that's going to be Frostbite taking control in mid. Like, we did see Rabid have a chance to get the checkpoint, but then the Agents coming and cleaning up house when they're the last one remaining. So now X-Ray is just going to fall to their death.
X-Ray! Oh.
Captured in 4K. Oh, man, you hate to see it.
Bro, they didn't just have average quality. Like they had the Switch Pro Deluxe 4K right there. That's. Ooh.
You know, part of me was thinking we were going to be seeing it again, but thankfully they did make the jump, just not able to get the checkpoint just of yet, and the Inzap is going to be taken down with the Rainmaker pop. So Rabid now getting some map control back. Candy here just trying to clean up on the left side and keep this ledge to themselves.
Here it goes. Candy, they've got that Stamper out. They're able to find one, but Reborn shutting that one down. They don't know if they see Adept. They definitely don't know that Adept's beside them. There's Rainmaker. This time is going to go right side. I think Rabid's going to be able to get it for free this time. They did get pressured out by the Zuko, but they didn't have to worry about the actual hazard, the map end.
The void, that is the end of the map, but honestly, that was an excellent play there. Like, we saw the jet coming out, and we know how devastating the jet was before, so being able to just swing it around, take it on the right side, out of the range of that jet, allows them to get that checkpoint. And with 2 members of Frostbite down, they have a chance to push it forward, but the Rainmaker resets before they can grab it.
There we go. Adept on this right side has a Tri-Strike able to help them, and that's going to be able to find Segura. That's a massive splat. You found one, and that's the backline. X-Ray, though, this time, they're going to be the ones who's shutting down the jump. That's going to be good for their team. Frostbite holding on. Candy gets a trade, and Rabid, they're going to have to reset. They still have all of mid control to their name.
Yeah, with the ballpoint there, they're able to get some jumps in. The Rainmaker shield is still yellow right now, as well as the mid area, but there's going to be something special going on right now. We see the jet getting popped here. If they're to find a pick, they do find 1 pick. If they can clean up a 2 picks right here, that's going to be 3 members down off a Rabid. Now Frostbite has that chance once again, possibly a delayed wipe here to get that checkpoint.
Yeah, they want to get this. They're gonna have to, and they will. Good job for them. They've got Tactic Cooler now. They should be able to pop this Rainmaker as Adept is gonna follow the lead. Will most likely be flopping as soon as they pop that thing and grab it once. They will. Not too much of a lead though. 48, I'm gonna be straight up honest with you on this map, will not win you the game. If it does, I'm not gonna do anything for you. I'll wear Ahmed's bucket hat next time I see it.
Bet. But are seeing the Zuka coming out, like they are still putting on the aggression. They're gonna be bringing it up to 29 here, bringing 2 members of Rabid down as well. Like they still have so much pain here. Like they could just keep on pushing this if they can get the jumps in.
Yeah, this Rainmaker is dangerously close to being popped. The Ultra Stamp is going to be out. It's going to be punished. Adept is able to get a splat, but that's not exactly what they need. Frostbite is going to grab this Rainmaker, and they're going to run it down the ledge. No more points are going to be accrued for them. So kind of a little bit of counterintuitive, because now they're going to have to pop this thing again. Luckily, with the splats, it will be a lot easier. Going for a flank. Can they find what they need to find to get this Rainmaker to go just a little bit further? They will. They're going to allow their teammates to jump down. No, not quite. It does get to 20, though, so that is a lot better than 21. Or, sorry, not 29. Math, bro. Easy. I'm doing finance. I should know numbers.
Well, this is going to be a wipe off of Frostbite here, so Rabid has a chance to reset this back to mid, and Candy just going straight in, trying to find something, but gets shut down before they can do it, so the street is back in Frostbite's control. And now it's going to be a bit of a contestation for mid here as we're getting to the last 30 seconds. Like, Rabid has got to push it back. They have the checkpoint already taken out, so they have one chance to get this lead back.
Yeah, and this is their counter pick. You don't want to lose your counter pick and go in that 0-2 hole. They've got the spot that they need. They're going to be going on this right side. There goes the Ultra Stamp. Can it find anything? No. We're going to see that the shot and the zap are here ready to go. They're ready to defend, but they're both going to get taken out. X-Ray. X-Ray's going to be the last one. They're going to be the last line of defense. They're not going to be able to come through Titan because the lead is down to 17. Frostbite. They need to pop this thing, and they need to grab that Rainmaker. They will. Oh, actually, they had time on their favor. Here we go, Ahmed. There's a chance for Frostbite.
And if Kenny had not been taken down by the shield, they could have ended it right there. But now Frostbite with control of the Rainmaker. They're going to be running out of time. But Kenny is back for the cleanup. Able to save the game right there and then.
Yeah, my goodness. That was a little bit of an unfortunate way if you're a Frostbite to end it, because Candy just walked down the main street, into mid, underneath main mast, into zone, and went swipe, 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 swipe. Nobody else on the side of Frostbite even decided to look at Candy.
Straight up just meandered up to the Rainmaker and sent them back to spawn, ending the game with Rabid, bringing it up to 1-1 and Frostbite's counter pick.
Yeah, good. Rabid's counter pick. Oh, sorry, Frostbite's counter pick now. You're right. That was Rabid's counter pick. They won their counter pick.
Yes.
Words.
They won their counter pick. So, like as you said, like it is good that they won their counter pick, but still, Frostbite, having won the first match, they are up, 1 point. Like, unless Rabid is able to beat one of Frostbite's counter pick, Frostbite is gonna have the advantage for the rest of the set.
They definitely will. I'm gonna look in the chat, and it's gonna be Museum to Alfonsino on Clam Blitz. I was thinking that Frostbite would want to go to somewhere where they can definitely use their Elixir to their advantage. Mm-hmm. But looking at it, Frostbite cannot pick zones. Frostbite cannot pick zones, and Rabid can no longer pick Rainmaker if they have to do a counter pick. So overall, Elixir loses a lot of value on the other modes. On maybe tower control, you can argue. But Museum, I feel like Museum Clams is Elixir's best non-mincemeat map.
Mm-hmm.
If you catch what I'm putting down in their chat.
Indeed. Like, there's just going to be so much room for that Elixir to set up and maneuver. Like, it's going to be hard for Rabid to like unless they take down the Elixir, and they potentially have a chance to do so. Like, if they have the missiles or the Zipcaster just push them out of the way. Like, they're going to have to shut down whatever the Elixir is throwing out before they can really make a push up to the basket.
Yeah, we'll see. Can you remember back? I don't think. No, was this a stream match? What was the stream match for round 2?
That is an excellent question.
It was Frostbite Thembo. That was our round 2 match. I knew that we had one of these teams on stream. Can you believe that these two teams were in the same group in pools?
It's insane. they started out together and ended up together. Like, must be fate.
Yeah. I feel bad for Thembo. They were on the outside of our playoff picture looking
They
in,
caught the
and it's like,
crossfire.
damn, bro. You really had to do us like that, Roundy.
Ooh, Adapt going for the Vanilla Blaster this time around, and as well as back to the Wiper Deco, so missiles and the bubbler from that blaster. I think they're going to be struggling a bit on the paint, though.
Yeah, I could see that, but it balances out because there's an Elixir on the other side.
True, very true.
The difference is the blaster has to get into your face to really do the damage. The Elixir can just be a narc and beat you.
Exactly, but we were also seeing the light Tetrajewels for the first time, I think.
Yeah, light Tetras on this map, the Zipcaster usage is phenomenal. We even saw that in the opening trailer for Zipcaster. Zipcasting onto the spinners and how much control you can have. It was with Splashomatic back in the trailers, but you know, we all know how that turned out.
Yeah.
Like the gold
Rest in
dynamo
peace.
users, bro.
But man, like Frostbite is knocking on Wrath's door right now. Like they have a lot of map control in mid. Like they're just trying to find the one spot that they need to open up to the basket. I think that might have been it. Just the ball point remaining. They have so many clans in their possession. They just gotta break the basket open to get this started. And the Zipcaster's gonna be coming in to just keep them distracted at least.
Yeah. Keeping the Jet distracted is going to be good. It's going to be punished out on the ground by the Blaster and the Wiper. A push is a push, and I will say that. Push is a push no matter how small. Because I have a feeling that with how these teams played the first minute, this one could hold up for a while. Will it win the game? No. But it will hold up for a little bit.
And it's certainly like, yeah, it's like there's still so much blue in this map, and now with Rabid 2 down, Frostbite is going for round 2 of this push here. Like, once again, it's just the ball point remaining. They get shut down. So now Frostbite's going to be able to clean up and rectify that the single power climb they made before.
Oh, bro, that's a far power climb. Somehow, some way it's able to get in. Frostbite going phenomenal here. Sundra is still on plat. They don't care. They're still here with their team. This is great hold and positioning for the Elixir. Because you just make it so Rabid is just so darn scared of you.
This is the most aggressive Elixir I've ever seen. Like, the Frostbite, they're vastly close, but they have yet to move from the flat area here. Like, they do finally get taken down, but they just held out for so much time here.
This is going to be Rabid trying to get back in. They've got some mid control, but they need to get some spinner control while they're at it. So that's where their Blaster and their Wiper are going to be able to do the most work, so that Elixir cannot get set off on the side of Frostbite.
Indeed. Rabid's starting to get some macros back. The Bubbler gets popped out by X-Ray, just shuts down that Blaster. Strikes do move the Elixir out of the way for like a split second, but they're a man down, and the Zuka's coming out to pick off their ball point. Like, they are losing ground quickly. Like, Frostbite is going to get the wipeout. That's going to stomp that push right where it is.
So far, this counter pick from Frostbite has looked absolutely insane. They're the ones that have the push. They're the ones that have the control. And whenever they do give it up, it's only for, like, momentary. There goes some more pushes. There goes some more power climbs, too, into the basket there. We've got more climbs on the board for Frostbite. They're going to want to try and take this in, but they got to watch out for the Jet. Never mind. Jet just gets sniped. Candy's the last line of defense here for Rabid. I feel like their days are numbered. They are. Zuka is now out for the side of Frostbite. More climbs into the basket. They just need one more climb, and here it comes from X-Ray. X-Ray's got it. They're going to throw it in the basket, and my goodness, Frostbite stomping their own counter pick. 100-0 on Clam Blitz.
And like, that was such a slippery slope for Rabid. Like, anytime they tried to take control of the mid or get onto Frostbite's plat, it's like they just push back so quickly with the counter push. Like, as you said, it was a complete stomp from Frostbite for their counter pick. Now, what is Rabid gonna have to pick in order to bring this back? Because that match was insane.
Yeah, that was beautiful. That was a beautiful game, and exactly kind of what you want to do when it comes to counter picking. It's using the strengths of your own team to really show it off. The next map, boom, really quick, really quick. Squeak said Mako Clams.
Ooh.
Return of the Luna?
Oh, yes. See, I was gonna say, like, they have to pick Clams again. Like, going up against either, I do not see them picking tower control or zones for that matter. So it's like they for their counter pick, they gotta pick Clams here, and still they gotta win out this and whatever Frostbite bring down the next one.
Yeah. I'm definitely feeling the Luna's coming back.
Oh, absolutely.
Because like this was a spicy map that they had last time. It didn't. I'm gonna be straight up honest. It didn't look clean. Rabid did not look clean when they played this, but They did win it.
They did win. I was gonna say, was that against Loaded? Yeah, that was against Loaded Diaper the last time they played on this map mode.
Mm-hmm.
And that was an insane match to say the least. They definitely got some traction going into this one. We'll have to see how it. In fact, what is Rabid gonna bring out? Are they gonna stick with the E-leader for this one? I don't see them playing E-leader on this one.
No, you don't play E-leader on Clan Let's Mako.
I was gonna say like.
You could cook with the regular charger and play Copium. Copium? Or just play Ballpoint. Or don't play backline here?
That is true. Like, who needs a backline? It's Clan Blitz. It's Macamart.
Heavy Deco, sir. Excuse me?
Oh, like, true.
Like, Heavy Deco was king on this map back in the last game. Then again, it had Splashful Bubbler. But, you know, Remix did well here. So, like, you just don't have the Booyah Bomb. You got the Kraken, which arguably is invincible baller.
And we did see, like, we saw the Kraken in play before with the 96. Like, who was it? Was it Loaded Diver with the 96 last time? Or was that Rapid? Oh, no, that was. So, probably not going to have seen it from Rabid here, but oh.
Here's going to go to Squeezer. And, yep, there's the charger. Inkvac charger. The Copium was not all that Copium. It was actually Truthium. We're going to see this Inkvac buff, but not on zone, so it's not going to be painting zone anymore.
And it's quite an unusual comp for Rap here. Like, once again, just the Luna and Squeezer combo. But it's not really going to matter. Frostbite is just going to pick them off one by one. They are in possession of a Paracon, and the basket going to be open. And another splat by the Charger. Like, Frostbite is just going hard on this one.
Yep. They know how to play Clam. They open this up really well. But they got to watch out because the Luna's behind them. The Luna's able to get one. Will it be able to find the back? It has that extra range radius to be able to go around it, and it will. Great job from Adept. They've got to find one more member of Frostbite. Down on their lower right, they have called them out, and their team is able to help them punish it down. Zipcaster is now ready for them. Rabid. They've got some clams on the map that they can pick up.
Oh, a nice pick off the Tetras. They're going to be zipping out, trying to survive, and Kay's going to help with the cleanup. Like, that flank from Adapt here, they just turned around what could have been a really dangerous situation for Rabid here. Like, Frostbite was in such a good position to lock out, and now they're going to be putting clams in their own basket, and still in a relatively good position.
I just have not seen a Luna Blaster play like that in a long, long time. I just see how difficult it was. It used to be point-and-click adventure in Splatoon 1. Now it's paint control, ability usage, ink management, and still getting destroyed by not having as much mobility and range.
Oh!
Dude, from how big its size is now? Crazy.
That's going to be the Inkvac just demolishing half of Rabid's team right there. And now Frostbite is going to be in control. Amin was in with still quite a decent lead here. And with two more members of Rabid going down, like, they have a chance to just open up this basket and add to the lead even more.
My goodness. There is going to be an Inkvac here to go. Frostbite, they want to push some more clams into this basket. They're going to do it, but as long as they won't get flanked, they are currently getting flanked. The Squeezer is going to get taken out by the back with a massive hitbox now. Def trying to find this charger. Staying with Squeak. They have that pity climb to their name, but two more members of Frostbite are just going to be running in with some more clams, and here comes the Reslider. He's going to try and take out some more of those members of Rabid. This is going to be so chaotic, and they're still in the back line. X-Ray has a clam. Will they be able to get it in time? It went in. I heard the sound effect.
Oh man, the clam went in, but the game said nope, it's time for you to stop right here. So Frostbite, though, they still have so much back control and another Paracon to their name. Like, they could just keep this push going once again. Three members are Rabid down. They are locked into their base right now. There's just so many clams in Frostbite's flank.
Yeah, this is dominant. They just need one more pod. They're going to have those clams, and as soon as the back is done, it's going to be game. Here it goes, and that is it. Frostbite, they're going to be your Tournament 4 champions and qualifying under a first seed for playoffs.
Man, like, I thought for sure that Rabid had the turnaround there, but then the Inkvac just came and said, no, go back to spawn. It's our turn.
Yeah, my goodness. That was a big victory on 2 Clamblitz maps back to back for Frostbite, showing how strong they are on that mode. I'm gonna look forward to that in for not qualifier 5 for finals.
And like it. Yeah, Frostbite won this tournament right here, but yeah, Rabid and Frostbite have qualified, so they will be making a return in 2 weeks. It is, oh, that was such a tough one. Like Rabid, they played their ace in the hole, like their Rainmaker pick earlier on, but then I was so dominant that Frostbite was on clams, and then how much Rabid struggled for zones, like there just really wasn't a good pick for them to be able to come back with.
Yeah. Yeah, it was hard. It was really hard. They showed capabilities of holding mid, but then they just kind of got run over. They just got run over by a big train, and weren't able to get back up for that. But with that, Ahmed, I'll say thank you because you've been here for almost 4 hours commentating.
Listen, it's been a heck of a ride. Like I have thoroughly enjoyed my time here.
But yeah, that was phenomenal. And before we go, everyone, and do our sign-offs. Actually, let's do our sign-offs now before I update you guys on what's going on with the standings. So, Ahmed, where can the lovely people find you?
Well, you can find me in all the usual places: Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube at IHOP. You know, it's like I love my Splatling. Splatling loves me. You're just a lot of Splatling around. Genie, where can the good people find you?
They can find me going to Riptide this September in Sandusky, Ohio at the Kalahari. I just signed up last night, yeah. And I'm going to have a blast there. So if you want to see me in person, definitely come by. There's going to be lots of phenomenal people there. 3 lands in a row for me, so kind of new territory. Anyway, you can find me on my, is it X now, not Twitter? That's Genie7, GEENIE7 _ on Twitter X, and no _ on all other socials. Once school finishes up, I will be doing a lot more streaming. So after finals, I'll be here for finals, and I hope you're here for finals as well. But before that, shoutouts to Boeing and all of our great TOs who are helping out today. We would like to welcome our finals in 2 weeks. That is Saturday. Hold on. Calendar. What are you doing? Saturday, August 12th at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Synergy, Loaded Diaper, In Control Red Sun, Wipeout Punks, Shiba Gang, Velocity, Rabid, and Frostbite, who are all there qualifying under the top 2 names. Sanctuary will be joining them, as well as Decay / Sweet Tooth. We'll have to get the confirmation on which team is playing, because at the moment, they can't play as separate teams, and too many of the members match up that they would not qualify. So one of them is in, which means congratulations to Great Question, who have also qualified, and Thembo IHOP, because Grimace Shakers didn't play their 3rd place match. Because they didn't play their 3rd place match, Thembo goes in. Goes in a group with Frostbite and Rabid. What the... Bro. We'll have official confirmations on what teams are playing and their standings later on. Make sure to follow IPL for that. Twitter handles there. Or join the Discord servers where the updates will be there. But all I know is 2 weeks, we're going to have a great time with whoever's playing in our qualifying. Yeah. With that, we'll sign off. And thanks for watching some Splatoon action. Don't forget to watch other Splatoon creators.
Yeah, absolutely. Have a good rest of your weekend, everyone, and thank you for tuning in.